One. See ya, bro. Yo, Chadley, over here now. Oh my god, birds on the mending!
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube and Twitch channels, and we are back for another coffee stream because it is Monday and it's the morning. And today, if you live in the UK or Canada or any of the Commonwealth countries, it's Victoria Day. So happy Victoria Day. And next week will be Memorial Day. So yeah, happy holidays to everybody that is on holiday. We've got a bunch of videos to watch. Can Polly coverage begins again tomorrow? Tomorrow. I think there might be some stuff going on. There'll be some votes. Question period will resume tomorrow afternoon, so that'll be back on Wednesday. Because those lazy assholes took the entire week before today off. Because I swear to God, they just like vacations. We work super hard for our $300,000 a year. What a ridiculousness, man. And then in another month and a half, they'll be off for 8 weeks for the summer. They get a longer summer vacation than elementary school students do. So, that is what's going on for the week. And we also have... I had a friend send me a Dr. Phil episode, and I'm not going to watch it because... Well, I watched part of it, but I'm not going to watch it live because that will get my channel yeeted from space. Because I swear to God, I think after Dick Masterson trolled Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil's just like, fuck YouTubers, no reactions. Fuck them all. No, it's probably NBC, not Dr. Phil personally, but still. Anyway, the trad wife discussion made it to Dr. Phil, you guys. The trad wife movement made it to Dr. Phil, and it was something special, because it was funny, because for the first 2 minutes I was agreeing with the trad wife girl, because she was like, it's okay if you want to be at home and take care of your house and your kids, and that doesn't mean you're less of a woman, and this really, hardcore feminist attitude has really shamed women for being, for staying at home and not having a career. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's true. And then she was like, I blame the porn industry for putting this nasty connotation of submission onto what the word submissive is. It puts this BDSM, slavery type of mindset in your head. And again, that goes back to the hardcore feminist ideals. And I'm like, okay, again, I agree with that. And then she started going, and then I do my makeup for an hour and a half, my hair and makeup for an hour and a half. And I only own one pair of sweatpants, and I don't wear them because I need to be the prettiest I can be all the time, because I gotta look good when I go to the grocery store, and I gotta look good for my man at all times, and I need to please him. And then the man comes in, and he's like, I told her on the very first date that I wanted a traditional wife that would submit to me, and Um, and we don't have arguments because I make the decisions and she just does whatever I tell her to. And I'm like, that's not communication. That's just like do as I say. And like it was just really weird to see this, like, and it was funny because Dr. Phil pointed out, and I hate agreeing with Dr. Phil, but Dr. Phil, because she was like, women, like, it's okay for a traditional housewife, they sacrifice a career just like a career woman sacrifices time at home. And then Dr. Phil very wisely was like, well, you have a social media presence about being a trad wife, right? And she's like, yeah, I've got like, um, she's got over 100,000 followers, and she has like several million views on her channel, and she monetizes, right? So she makes money off of her TikTok and her YouTube content. And Dr. Phil's like, okay, so you are making money off of this, right? And she's like, well, yeah, but it's not very much. It's just like it's a hobby. And he's like, no, you're earning money, so you have a job, right? Like it was just really interesting how it's so weird to see like the shit coming off the internet meeting up with the. I wonder how that works while she's leaking milk and bleeding for 3 weeks after a baby boy, right? Right? How do you like stay all pretty and do your hair and makeup for 90 minutes while your milk is coming in? And you literally can't do anything to make your tits stop literally pouring milk out of them. There's a reason they make pads for your boobs when you're nursing, okay? It's literally pads, like you would think sanitary pads for down there, except they're circles that you put over your nipples to collect the milk that is pouring from your tits if your kid is not eating or hungry at the time, and you're like, you can't, because the more you pump, the more milk comes out, right? So if you over pump, then you're gonna have an oversupply for the amount of kids you have. And like it's, oh my god, like how does she expect to do that? And then um this whole, we don't have arguments thing. It's like, then you don't have a healthy relationship, because I'm sorry, if you don't have an argument about something and it's just, we're gonna do this, okay, that's not a healthy relationship. And he literally said the words, my wife doesn't talk back to me. And it's like, do you have a wife or a child? Because when I hear the words don't talk back to me in the conversation between two adults, one of the adults thinks they're a parent. That's how I feel. Because talk back is like something you would say to a kid. When you're an adult, you are on equal footing, and you can have a bad attitude, right? You can have a shitty attitude while talking to somebody, and the person can be like, okay, you know what? Your attitude is shit right now, and I don't really want to speak to you. But don't talk back to me, or she doesn't talk back to me. That makes me feel like he feels like he is definitely in a higher place than she is. Like he's an authority figure over her, which that's just not how a healthy relationship should work. But it just blew my mind that the red pill, like, trad wife stuff is leaking over into the Dr. Phil area. It's just crazy to me that, like, the stuff on the internet is leaking into the mainstream. And we all of us that were on the internet for the past 5, 6, 7 years, we said this was gonna happen. And all the normies were like, oh, you internet people, you need to get off the internet. You don't know what you're talking about. You're all conspiracy nuts. Hi! What the fuck are you looking at now? You're looking at pronouns everywhere and video games being ruined because of forced diversity and inclusion. You're looking at teachers being fired because they're using critical thinking skills about whether J.K. Rowling is transphobic or not. Yeah, no, we're all fucking conspiracy nuts though, right? It's all just internet bullshit and it's all gonna stay there. It's not gonna leak into everyday life. No. That's not gonna happen. Ever. Okay. Sure. Whatever. A discussion is a good idea. Yes. Yelling at each other might not be productive. No. But he makes all the final calls. He says she gets an opinion, but not the final opinion. Yeah, that's not how that works. Like, there does have to be, like, somebody who, like, there does have to be a leadership role, but in a partnership, that role can kind of move back and forth, I think. I think in some, like, there are definitely places in our relationship where Pink Hollows, because he knows about things in that area, he takes the lead on. But then there are other things where he's like, no, this is your decision. You make the decision. Right? And that's how it should be. It should not always be one person doing all of the deciding. That's not healthy for that person. And it's not healthy for the relationship. It's really, really not. Like, the mental health struggle for the person who's always deciding, like, that's not healthy. And then no matter what, you're always going to resent not being able to make any final decisions. No matter how much you're going to try to spin that you enjoy being a traditional housewife. Even 50s, even like 1950s and 1940s housewives still had, like, fuck, the honeymooners. Alice was not a submissive woman. Lucy was not a submissive woman. Right? Like, fuck, you go back into the radio shows and, like, The Shadow, for example, Margot Lane. You don't have to be this meek, submissive, like, never making a decision. Like, to me, that is a cop-out of being an adult. Like, finding a partner that makes all the decisions for the relationship, to me, that's just lazy, and you're getting out of being a grown-up. Oh, I don't have to think. My husband thinks for me. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, it's just... And what's sad is she was in college before this whole thing. She was in college. She was a fitness model. And she still could have done all of those things that she was, what the hell did she say she was in college for? Meteorology. So, like, a good, actually intelligent, scientific job. She could have been a meteorologist and a wife and been very happy, but she decided to drop out of college and find somebody who would do all the thinking for her. And that's really sad. And the fact that, like, and she makes posts about it. About how, and if she's okay with it, then, like, that's her grown-up decision, right? But for her to sit there and insult everybody's intelligence, to be like, I'm I still make decisions, and I'm like completely happy, and I'm not a slave. Like, yeah, no, sorry. If you don't make any final decisions, then you are a second class citizen in your partnership, and that's not okay. You don't have to be a rotten cunt to be equal with your partner. And that's something I'm trying to learn, because I was raised by somebody who felt that you had to be that way to have a lead in a relationship. And that's not how that works. You don't need to be like rollover doormat, but you also don't need to be rotten high strung mega cunt, right? There is a middle ground, and it looks like the trad wives don't know it, and the super hardcore feminazis don't know it. But there is a way that you can be a loving wife and mother and still do things for yourself and still make yourself a fulfilled person without having to do everything for everyone else and nothing for yourself, besides putting on makeup and styling your hair. Like, that's so shallow to me. Like, I get to put on makeup and do my hair, and it's not even for her, it's for her husband. Right? Like, what does she do for her? Like, there's nothing, like, does she have a hobby that she likes to do? Or is it always, I'm cleaning, I'm budgeting, I'm doing my hair and makeup, and I'm cooking, and I'm making my social media posts about how wonderful all of this is? You know what I mean? It's, what does she do for herself? Ever. So that was interesting to me, to see that the trad wife discussion actually made it to Dr. Phil. And he was very, very, like, it was funny because he kept looking over at Robin, and Robin's just like, what? Just like, what? What do you want? And of course he was doing it to be funny, right? Because you could tell he didn't believe any of this stuff. So that's basically it. But I wanted to open with that because I thought that was incredibly interesting, that the trad wife discussion made it to big talk show TV. Oh, all right. It's time for us to get into our videos, and I found a video from this Disturbing History channel about it's called The Brutal Life of a Communist Leader, and it's a communist leader that I've actually never heard of. So I would like to take a listen to this and see which leader this is and what country they were a part of. So, here we go. Let's get into this. Share the stream, everybody. Let's get some more people in here.
The horrors of Stalin and the Soviet Union he developed was only possible with the backing of loyal men willing to carry out his often violent desires. The subject of today's video was much more than a simple yes man. Lavrentiy Beria. Lavrentiy Beria for a time was the head of the infamous NKVD, which was a secret police force.
See, this is something I have never known about Russia. I knew about the KGB, but I never knew about the secret police force, the NKVD.
He was able to position himself close to Stalin, feeding his ego. In such a position, he carried out purges of tens of thousands of people, whilst using his power to abuse countless women and girls.
Oh, lovely. So he's a fucking predator. He's a predator and a fucking genocider. Lovely. Lovely!
His bloody partnership with Stalin was not enough to save him from being arrested and executed shortly after Stalin's death. In today's video, we will cover the life, actions, and death of the man often called Stalin's Himmler.
How have I never heard about this guy? Stalin's Himmler. Holy shit. He looks like a PDF file. Oh, this guy. I have never heard of this guy. Levante Bria. Stalin's Himmler. Alright.
Beria was born in Georgia on the 29th of March 1899. His father was a landowning farmer and his mother was a widowed noble. As a student of engineering during the February Revolution of 1917, he joined the Bolshevik Party. He reportedly served as a counterintelligence agent for the Musavats, an Azerbaijani nationalist group. Beria would be arrested for his role, and he was almost executed, though he would be saved. He claimed he was only working with the Musavats on orders from the local Communist Party.
Of course. I'm not actually with them. The commies told me to do it. And
his execution was reportedly avoided, with the intervention of Sergei Kirov, a leader of the Azerbaijani Communist Party. In 1920, Beria joined the Cheka, the Bolshevik secret police force. There he rose the ranks, uncovering counter-revolutionary plots as part of the wider Red Terror that swept the region.
Oh, good! He was part of the Red Terror. Awesome. What a lovely gentleman. Part of the Bolshevik police force that was part of the Red Terror. Lovely. The Red Terror, by the way, is responsible for the vast influx of Ukrainian Mennonites that came to Canada.
But the first sign of Beria's ruthless nature could be seen with his actions in Georgia. When the Soviet Union declared Georgia a socialist republic in 1921, many Georgian nationalists opposed the move. The Bolsheviks did not have the support of most of the Georgian peasantry, whilst much of the working and middle classes felt no love for an outside political movement.
Right.
Political oppression was widespread, with armed resistance common against the Bolsheviks. Beria played a prominent role in quashing Georgian nationalist movements.
Stomp that shit out, he said. No nationalism here. We are all communists.
He led incursions and investigations into nationalist groups, leading to the arrests of many. It is understood that Beria and his agents may have even inflamed nationalists to engage in an escalation.
He looks like Herbert the pervert before he got old. Oh God. Next, he probably says he's got gummy bears in his pockets. Good one, Snuggy Bear.
Violence. This allowed for the necessary pretext for a complete elimination of political enemies, namely rival communists who had been members of the Menshevik Party. Beria was able to rise to become the deputy chairman of the Georgian secret police force due to his work in destroying political rivals. In August of 1924, Georgian nationalists and soldiers launched a guerrilla-style assault on the Bolsheviks. The subsequent Red Army counterattack employed heavy artillery and planes to great effect.
Jesus! You fucking holy shit! Heavy artillery and aircraft against guerrilla fighters? Okay, that's some overkill.
Pushing the insurgents into the mountains.
Jesus!
Captured rebels and those who supported them were executed, sometimes entire villages at a time, regardless as to whether they were children or the elderly. By September, the rebellion was all but put down, with the remaining soldiers agreeing to lay down their arms following assurances from Beria that the mass executions would be brought to an end.
Yeah, sure they would. Yeah, when the guy that really likes killing people tells you he's gonna stop, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna believe him.
This, however, was a lie. Rebels and their families were executed in prison, all of them without a trial. It is thought that some 10,000 people were executed under Beria's orders. Another 20,000 or so were deported to Siberia to toil in the horrific conditions in the newly formed labor camps.
Yeah, Siberia, not very hospitable. Pretty damn cold.
The gulags.
Yeah.
By 1932, Beria was placed as the party leader for the whole Transcaucasian region. He enjoyed his position as a leading member of the NKVD, but his rise would continue. He developed a close relationship with Stalin, emulating Stalin's cult of personality. With the both of them being Georgian with similar family upbringings, Beria was able to placate and play on Stalin's ego and need for praise.
He was, he really does seem like Stalin's Himmler. He's manipulative, he's calculating, he's just brutal. Holy fuck.
Beria would holiday with Stalin, again copying Stalin's holiday home and building his own close by. But perhaps the clearest display of Beria's bootlicking was his publishing
communists
on the
don't fight fair, just ask the leftists in Canada and the USA.
history of the Bolshevik organizations in Transcaucasia, a book that detailed the fabricated and inflated role of Stalin. By 1934, Beria had risen to the position on the Central Committee for the Soviet Union, the highest ruling body. This very same year, Beria's ally, Sergei Kirov, was assassinated.
Oh dear.
Kirov's death sparked the Great Purge. Beria understood Stalin's need for the purge.
There was... What the fuck was that? What was going on before? That wasn't purging? These fucking tens of thousands of people, the villages of people, just... That wasn't purging? This is okay.
And he enthusiastically set about murdering key Soviet leaders in Transcaucasia, those who might prove to be a threat. Many of those Beria arrested and executed were killed following fabricated, unreliable, or non-existent evidence.
Oh, good.
Seeing his capability, Stalin laid the ground for Beria to replace the current head of the NKVD secret police, Nikolai.
You do so good at manipulating and lying and killing, I think you should replace the current manipulator, liar, and killer. Good job!
To replace the current head of the NKVD secret police, Nikolai Yezhov. The infamous before and after photo of Stalin by the river, with one of the figures removed, shows the complete annihilation of those suspected of being treacherous. The figure in said photo was Nikolai Yezhov.
Jesus. So now you see him, now you don't. Look, I made people disappear. Holy fuck. This is insane.
Beria himself was almost purged, but was warned in advance. He was able to fly to Moscow and plead with Stalin and secure his safety.
Please don't kill me, sir.
In
I've done a lot of
1937,
killing for
Stalin
you.
ordered the purge of the Red Army.
I would really
Around
appreciate it if you did not kill
35,000
me.
officers were dismissed from their posts. Of these, tens of thousands were arrested, many of whom were executed. Under the guise of a supposed fascist military plot to overthrow Stalin, the NKVD led the operation.
I love how because of these assholes, everyone thinks that fascists are only right wing, when basically communism is fascism. It's just you don't use it's just that fascists also like to use capitalism too, but like communists basically are fascists just without capitalism. This is basically communism and fascism are the same fucking thing. It's just communists also hate capitalism.
Fear of arrest led to many officers and soldiers denouncing one another. In 1938, Beria was made deputy of the NKVD. He oversaw the winding down of the Great Purge.
I think we made a big mistake in World War II. What was that? Not killing Lenin? Or, sorry, Stalin and Lenin?
Which claimed the lives of anywhere from 700,000 to 1.2 million.
Not along with having Hitler
The
kill
gulags
himself.
were
We
filled
didn't
with
get rid of Lenin too. Wait, did Lenin come? No, Lenin came after Stalin. It was Stalin, then Lenin, then Gorbachev.
Forced laborers, making the NKVD not only a political but economic power. Yezhov was framed as solely responsible for the excesses of the purge, with
Jesus.
some 100,000 people released from prisons as proof of the clemency now to be offered.
Look, see, we didn't kill everyone. We're letting some people go. Aren't we nice? Aren't we amazing?
Nevertheless, Beria would go on to prepare the lists of dissidents, traitors, or fifth columnists for Stalin to approve their executions. One of those murdered was Yezhov. Beria promoted those loyal to him and set about establishing his power base. During the Second World War and the invasion of Poland by Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, Beria oversaw the brutal Katyn massacre. We do have a separate video on this topic, but to summarize, it saw the executions of tens of thousands of Polish prisoners. The Soviets falsely claimed that the Polish government had fallen following the Nazi invasion.
Wow. So they were working really hand in hand until Hitler went crazy. The Soviets were like, yay, the lying. The Polish government is fallen. Let's go.
And so they were stepping in to protect the ethnic Belarusian and Ukrainian Poles. Anywhere between 300,000
Lenin showed up the tail end of World War II. Yeah, we should have
and
killed Lenin.
500,000 Polish prisoners of war were captured and deported to the Soviet Union. In addition, members of the Polish establishment were arrested. Many of these prisoners ended up in prison camps run by Beria's NKVD. In March of 1940, Stalin gave orders to Beria to execute 25,000 Polish prisoners.
Holy fuck!
The vast majority were members of the Polish military, mainly officers.
Get rid of all the officers, then the military is completely rudderless and they're fucked. Holy Jesus Christ, just 25,000 people. Just get rid of all of those people over there. They're useless.
So too were key members of the Polish political and cultural elite. In April, some 21,857 people were murdered.
Jesus
This was largely
Christ.
carried out by single executioners, one every 3 minutes over the course of 28 days.
Holy fuck! Just a month's worth of shooting people every 3 minutes. Just, you're dead. Next. You're dead. Next. Holy fuck. That gives a whole new meaning to the phrase, bring out your dead.
The Katyn massacre was designed to rid occupied Poland of any meaningful resistance to Soviet occupation, with Beria's ruthless methods employed to devastating effect.
I'm sorry, but they kind of did more damage than the fucking Germans did in some cases. Jesus Christ.
Beria would oversee production of much of the Soviet Union's war industry, working alongside Georgy Malenkov and establishing an alliance between the two. In 1944, Beria was given oversight and command of the Task No. 1, the Soviet nuclear program. In both endeavours, he utilised the massive forced labour manpower of the gulags, with prisoners toiling in factories and mining uranium.
Hey, I know we've killed your families and friends, and now you're working for us, and now you're going to mine for the shit that's going to bomb the fuck out of everybody else in your country, okay? Go!
One of Beria's most disturbing crimes was the serial abuse of women. Beria would often be driven through the streets of Moscow in the comfort of his limousine. He would spot young women that he would instruct his men to detain and bring back to his home.
Oh no.
There, the women would be faced with a feast and plenty of wine. Once finished, Beria would bring the woman into a soundproof office, where he would commit serious SA. Once
Jesus Christ, dude. Funny thing, Russia was doing the same thing Germany was doing but North America tries to hide it in new history books. You love watching me learn and process? Oh, good, Bishop. I like... This is why I like doing these things. This is why I like these history things.
Once the woman was allowed to leave, she would be handed a bouquet of flowers.
Oh.
This was to prove to anyone else that the encounter was consensual.
Jesus Christ almighty. I didn't rape you. Look, here are some flowers.
If the woman dared to reject the flowers, she would be arrested. Some of the victims submitted to Beria in hopes of rescuing their family from the gulags or prison. A list of victims that Beria had ordered destroyed was secretly kept by his bodyguard, detailing over 100 women.
Oh my god. 100 different... Holy shit, dude. This guy's making Caligula look like a fucking saint. Holy
In 1993,
shit.
building works uncovered a mass grave near Beria's Moscow mansion, with a number of female skeletons believed to be the victims of his predilections. It is
Lovely.
understood that many high-ranking Soviet officials knew of his crimes. Stalin himself at one point warned his daughter to never be alone in a room with Beria.
Holy shit. Dude, how fucked up do you have to be like, yeah, this is my buddy. I like him. He's good. He does what I want him to. Oh, by the way, honey, don't be around him, okay? And, if you're ever alone with him, just don't be around him, okay? Like, ugh. They also had women's slavery in Russia till 1980. Yep, that I knew. I have my aunt is from Siberia. She moved to Canada in the early 2000s when she was in her 20s. And that's why she gets really pissed off when she hears people compare Canada to communism, even with Trudeau, because she lived in the aftermath of communism. She lived the first 10 years of her life in communism. So she actually knows what real communism is. And while she thinks that we're going to shit right now, she's like, we are not communist. We can still complain. We can still, like, talk about what's going wrong without being arrested and, like, killed. we don't have intermittent electricity and water going to our houses. We don't live, like, we are not communist. She gets so mad.
For fear of what he might do. Beria had begun to fall out of favour with Stalin in the 1950s, so it came as something of a relief when Stalin was found dying in March of 1953.
Did we not kill Stalin? I thought we killed Stalin. Why did we not kill Stalin? That was a big mistake. Why did we not kill Stalin? We were all gung-ho to kill Hitler. Why didn't we kill Stalin? So? Fuck Russia.
As Stalin lay in his deathbed, somewhat conscious, it was reported that Beria was in tears, kissing Stalin's hand and hoping for his swifter recovery.
Oh.
But when it seemed that Stalin was about to die, a grin was said to be seen.
You're saying, fuck Russia, one woman at a time.
On Beria's face. When Stalin died,
So
he
he's all
was
happy.
almost immediate in denouncing Stalinism and the excesses that he had been a part of, and was quick to set about his ambition for further power.
I hated Stalinism. It's all about Leninism. I was never a Stalinist. I was always secretly a Leninist. Even before Lenin showed up. Hello.
It's too warm in here.
It is?
Okay. Do you find it nice in here? And I'm gonna go murder 2 children.
Because
Break
we
my
didn't
back.
kill Stalin. Yes, I know we didn't kill Stalin. We should have killed Stalin. That's why I said, why didn't we kill Stalin?
Beria was quick to ally himself with Georgy Malenkov, who would go on to succeed Stalin as Premier of the Soviet Union. Beria proposed a number of reforms, namely reducing the influence of the Ministry of Internal Affairs.
No,
We
don't want internal affairs to look at what we're doing. That would be bad.
Were to be reduced, with the Gulag program to be run by the Ministry of Justice instead. Over 1 million non-political prisoners.
Yeah, well, Bill C-63 is not going to pass. And the thing about what's going on right now is he is fucking up so badly, Snuggy Bear, that his coalition is starting to fracture. The New Democrats are getting angrier and angrier with what's going on. They still haven't voted on the actual budget yet. So I don't know if they are going to vote with Trudeau for the budget. And if they don't, then we're going to have an election sooner than we thought. And I really want that to happen.
Prisoners were to be released, and many more people exiled from the Soviet Union had their passports returned. Beria sought to allow further freedoms to the non-Russian states, namely Ukraine, as to likely weaken the power base of a key rival, Nikita Khrushchev. The process of Russification and the cult of Stalin were denounced, while Beria sought to reunify East and West Germany.
So he really was just a manipulator. He didn't care what ideology it was, as long as he just had power.
His reforms, however, did lead to an increase in non-political crime, many taking advantage of the amnesty. In June, a series of strikes and protests as to the conditions in East Germany were blamed on Beria's destabilizing reforms. Khrushchev and other members of the Politburo planned their arrest of Beria. On the 26th of June 1953, he was arrested. The circumstances around the arrest are believed to have been an ambush prepared by Khrushchev. At a meeting, Khrushchev leveled his accusations against Beria, calling him a traitor in the employ of the British intelligence.
By the way, Stalin got paid by the US government to keep around until Russians put the wall up in Germany. Jesus Christ.
Despite his appeals to Malenkov, the signal was given to Marshal Zhukov to enter the room with several armed men and arrest Beria. The military moved to prevent those loyal to Beria from intervening, whilst a number of Beria's prodigies were arrested and summarily executed. With his loyalist men guarding the Kremlin, Beria was locked up until nightfall before being smuggled out in the trunk of a car. All manner of public charges were levelled against him, from causing food shortages to putting secret police forces above the party and state. At a private trial in December, Beria and a number of co-conspirators were sentenced to death.
You got sentenced to the same shit that you did to everybody else.
It's reported that Beria fell to the floor and begged for his life. There are, however, doubts whether Beria was actually murdered well before the trial. Either way, his body was cremated, and all records of his life were expunged from the Soviet Union.
He was unpersoned. In the language of 1984, he was unpersoned.
As an example as to how far this went, subscribers to the Soviet Encyclopedia were sent a note instructing them to cut out the section on Beria, which was to be replaced with a section on the Bering Sea that they dutifully provided. Beria's story is an example of one of the loyal, conniving men behind one of history's most brutal dictators. The need for such men are crucial for murderous dictators to achieve their disturbing goals, and this story highlights the sort of people who thrive under such systems. Beria was able to continually rise the ranks to be a potential successor to Stalin, whilst able to act with impunity for his own twisted desires. He rightly deserves the mantle of Stalin's Himmler, an example of the dangers posed by authoritarian regimes and the men prepared to do anything to cling to such power.
What an absolutely crazy bastard. Holy fuck. That's insane to me. That is absolutely insane to me. Just the... Wow. Hey! Big baby Frankie, what's up? Big baby Frankie, welcome to the show. I can't take a look at Twitch chat during a video. That's why it took me so long to get to your chat. Sorry. If I go to Twitch chat during a video, it will show up. Oh yes. People from I have an aunt that grew up in Russia, and she absolutely hates communism. I've watched a couple of Romanian content creators, and they hate communism as well. Most of the people that live in China or that left China, and it's bad. Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry about that. It's voiceover screws up names. Sorry about that. When Lenin took power, Stalin was running away from Russia because people wanted him dead. And at the end, Stalin was poisoned by a Jew. Oh my god. Okay. Well then. Oh, well. I think, since we're on solo cam, I will push my chair aside and I will do somebody sent in a smaller donation after the big one, so I'm gonna do that recorded and upload that as a short, and then I'm gonna record the big jumping jacks video in a little bit. So we're just gonna hit record and we'll do this thing. Right. So this is the small jumping jacks video. This is for Sinatra Says. Thank you for the donation. And here are 30 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Thank you very much, Sinatra. You kick ass. I hope you enjoyed that. That's gonna go up to Twitter. I still have to record my 500 jumping jacks. I'm probably gonna do that outside. But we're almost there, guys. We're almost to our full water heater goal, which is awesome. Whew. Big jumping. That's actually really, that's actually good cardio, believe it or not. Okay. Ask Cryptic how he feels about commies. And that's the problem. I don't understand why the West wants a communist leader here. I don't either. I really don't know. There are so many people here who are like, communism just has never been done right. It's like, okay. Sure. And they all say this from their fucking iPhones. It's like, dude, what the fuck? And the amount of disabled people in the West that hate capitalism, I'm like, do you have any idea where you would be without capitalism? You would have zero accessibility aids. You would have zero mobility aids. You would have zero fucking laws protecting your personhood. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you dumb disabled idiot? Why do you hate capitalism so much? Communism can't ever be done right. Fuck that, right? Thank you. Thank you. It's just so stupid. Oh. Speaking of history, we're gonna go to another channel that likes to do history called The Fat Electrician. Now, this guy's an American, and we're gonna learn today about the Doom Turtle, America's only super heavy tank. So let's pop over to the live scene. And please remember Twitch chat while I'm watching videos. If I pop over, you guys won't see the video, so I have to kind of wait till we're done. But here we go. Let's learn about the Doom Turtle.
Sometimes I like to read several books, get in contact with historians that are experts on the subject, and make a pretty serious video. And other times, I like to get completely unhinged and rant about some stuff that I think is funny. And by sometimes, I mean today, right now. Today we're talking about my favorite tank, ladies and gentlemen, America's only super heavy tank, the T-28, aka the Doom Turtle.
The Doom Turtle?
Now,
It's actually called
tank.
that?
It's a completely unquantifiable metric. Despite that, somebody in the comments is still going to tell me that I'm wrong. So if you think I should have a different favorite tank, go ahead and tell me about it in the comments below, and maybe I'll do a video about that one too. Okay, and just to be clear, when it comes to me and things like tanks and planes and guns, favorite is not the best, it's not the most impactful, it's not the most historically relevant, it's just the coolest / dumbest one around, and in my opinion, this is it. So,
well, that makes sense. You can't, it's not always gonna be the best, right? Like, sometimes you just like something because of the idea is so out there and crazy that you just love it.
So let's go ahead and get into this right after an awkwardly relevant word from our sponsors. This video is brought to you by War Thunder. They've got over 2,500 tanks, planes, and ships. Pretty much every military vehicle from World War II until modern times, including all the cool, weird, and obscure ones that may have never even actually seen combat. For example, let's say that I wanted to be the T-28, aka the Doom Turtle, America's only super heavy tank. I can do that. Then I can go over to X-ray mode, look at all the different components, check out all the specs, actually learn about the tank. Then I can hop over and I can customize it. Because let's face it, I don't just want to be the Doom Turtle. I want to be the Doom Turtle covered in bushes so I can try to sneak up on the enemy like I'm a 200,000-pound Wile E. Coyote with a 105mm howitzer for a nose. Then we throw an American flag on one side and some smack talk on the other, and now we're ready to go play the game. Now,
I love that! I love that
once
so
we start
much.
playing, the cool part is that it's not like a lot of other games where you just shoot at the other enemy tank and a hit is a hit no matter where it lands. No, in War Thunder, you can take out individual components of the enemy tank. For example, let's say there was a guy on a mobile artillery piece and that one guy in particular was talking smack. You can address him individually. Or maybe you're approaching an enemy tank and you fire but your shell doesn't get penetration and now it takes a while to reload, so you just open fire with your 50 cal right through the window slit, giving their driver a nice metallic face high five.
Okay, I like how he describes how you can play
Then once
this
you get the
game.
gun reloaded, you can finish taking out the rest of the crew. Or sometimes you just get that lucky shot where the shell goes straight through the enemy tank and detonates their ammunition. And the best part about all of this is that it's free to play on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. So if you wanted to give it a try, we'll have a link and a discount code in the description down below. And when you use my link, you're going to get all kinds of freebies to get you started off on the right foot.
God, I
Let's
wish
get back
this
to the
game was
video.
accessible.
Alright, the Doom Turtle. It is a World War II era tank that was designed for one reason and one reason only, and that is to punch through the German Siegfried Line. If you don't know, the Siegfried Line is Germany's western border where they have essentially tried to fortify it to make it impenetrable to the Allied forces approaching so that they can't break into Germany. It is approximately 400 miles of concrete pyramids known as Dragon's Teeth, making it so tanks and other Allied vehicles can't pass through.
Jesus Christ. They made concrete pyramids 400 miles of concrete pyramids. Holy shit. That is crazy.
Then on the other side of the dragon's teeth, you typically had other things that were meant to stop foot soldiers like moats, barbed wire, booby traps, and on the other side of those was over 18,000 bunkers with machine gun, mortar, and artillery positions that were going to, in theory, be able to mow down any ally trying to advance through those obstacles.
That's a fuck around and find out barrier. That's what that is. Holy shit. You might know who's the guy with the fish for a co-host that does weird stuff. The co-host with the fish. Pincalo might know. I don't.
Now, the American military and government knew about the Siegfried Line pretty much the entire time because German propaganda told them about it, and they portrayed it as completely impenetrable.
German propaganda is everywhere, right? Because that's part of the propaganda machine. Not only is it for the Germans, it's for the Allies, too. They want to scare the fuck out of the Allies so that the Allies don't even try.
So the American military in 1943 is like, okay, we're going to come up on the Siegfried Line eventually. Let's go ahead and get a plan in the works on how we're going to address it once we get there. Now, clearly, that plan should not rely on tanks, right? I mean, it's kind of the Siegfried Line's entire MO. It was designed, built, and implemented with the sole purpose of stopping tanks. We should probably do anything other than use tanks, right? Wrong.
Wrong! All the tanks! Everywhere! All the time!
I'm completely wrong. American engineers got told the Germans built an impenetrable tank fortification, and they're like, fucking bet. We'll see about that. We're going to build a bigger, better tank that's going to drive right fucking through it.
Right, yeah. Guys, we need a plan. We need a plan. The Germans have built this impenetrable tank barrier. Oh, yeah? We'll see about that. Fuck yeah!
So the engineers got to work. This is called the AT project, and what they came up with was, surely there's spots along the Siegfried Line where the German military has a gap where they can drive their vehicles through, right? Has to be there. They can't just have 400 miles and they drive all the way around. There's got to be points where you can pass through it. True. And obviously those points of passage are going to be the most fortified positions, right? They're essentially going to make a fatal funnel, a choke point, where all of the Allied forces have to try to go through a narrow passageway, and on the other side, it's going to be loaded with German 88 anti-tank guns, German artillery, machine guns, mortars, everything. They're going to be able to slaughter anybody that tries to make it through that little tiny narrow passage.
That would make sense. That would be a very good strategy. To force the Allies through one small point and then just mow them down. Seems fairly obvious to me, and I'm not even a military person. Let's see.
To which the American engineers are like, cool, obvious solution. We're just going to make a tank that can't die. Okay, it's going to be so heavily armored that there's no anti-tank weapon or artillery piece known to man that could kill it. Then we're going to put a gun on it that's so big that it can shoot through concrete bunkers and take out the enemy. We're literally going to drive this gigantic, heavily armored tank directly into the enemy choke point, stand there, take all their anti-tank fire, be untouchable, and then we're going to return fire and kill them first. Okay?
And thus the term tanking was born, and every gamer that tanks rejoiced. Yay!
Do you understand how gangster that is? This is the ultimate dad dick maneuver. Just straight up like, I know exactly what your plan is. I know what you want me to do so that you can beat me. I'm gonna do it anyways, and I'm still gonna win because fuck you. So they made the Doom Turtle, the T-28, America's only super heavy tank. This thing is 36 feet long, 10 feet tall, and 14 feet wide.
Jesus Christ, it's a goddamn building!
It has 12 inches of armor on the front, and it's weighing in at 95 tons.
How the fuck is that thing supposed to move? How do you move something like that? That thing has got to move like the slowest ever. Like, holy shit. We defeated the dragon's teeth with bulldozers. How the fuck do you even move something like that?
Okay, approximately 210,000 pounds. Okay, the human mind can't comprehend how heavy this tank actually is. It literally weighs as much as a blue whale, which also isn't helpful because most people haven't seen a blue whale. Okay, so it's like, what's my calculator? Toyota Corolla is like 3,000 pounds. Okay, it's like 70 Toyota Corollas, okay? This entire thing is like an entire parking lot got a gun strapped to it, and now it's coming to kill the enemy.
Just a whole Walmart parking lot is on the move. Just ready to kill.
Speaking of gun, they went with a 105mm gun, okay? That is field-grade artillery. This is literally a howitzer that they strapped to the front of this metallic blue whale. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you this thing is basically the Narwhal of death, all right? Which raises the question, why on earth did they go with the Doom Turtle and not the Narwhal of death? Well,
because, you know what? I don't know either.
Well, it's because this thing's slow as shit.
Yeah.
Which is really the downfall of this tank, because somebody basically said, hey, we're going to build a 200,000 pound tank, and then we're going to put the same V8 engine in it that the M4 Shermans have. Yeah, the Doom Turtle is rocking a 500 horsepower V8 Ford engine, okay? Just for the record, if you don't know much about engines or horsepower, Dodge is out here making minivans with 1,000 horsepower that weigh 5,000 pounds, and the DOD thought it would be a good idea to stick a 500 horsepower V8 inside of a tank that weighs as much as a blue whale.
That's probably what it needs to go only like 3 or 4 miles an hour. It's so goddamn heavy. It's just gonna be like fucking, it's got this giant ass engine in it, and it's like, can't go faster. Too heavy.
Okay, the Doom Turtle's coming at you at the speed of Mock Potato. Pedal to the metal,
Mock
balls to the
Potato.
wall. This thing maxes out at 8 miles an hour. So clearly they're going to have to transport this thing all the way to the Siegfried Line, right? If they land this thing on a beach in Normandy and let it drive all the way across France, it's going to take like 3 years to get there. And this is actually why the Doom Turtle has that unique look of having 4 sets of tracks instead of just 2 very wide sets of tracks like a normal super heavy tank would. And that's because those 2 outermost tracks come off and separate from the Doom Turtle, allowing it to be easier to transport, both because now the Doom Turtle isn't as wide, and it comes apart in 3 separate chunks, making it all weigh significantly less than the original 95 tons.
Smart. That's cool. So it's some assembly required, Doom Turtle. Okay, I get it now. The parts disassembled.
Well, they've got it all figured out, and by 1945, they start manufacturing these things. Originally, they're planning on making 25 of them. They figure that'll be enough to punch through the Siegfried Line, but they build 2 prototypes first. So,
could you imagine 25 Doom Turtles just blasting through?
They get those prototypes built, then they're testing the first one, and the V8 engine that's trying to move 200,000 pounds obviously catches fire, burns out the entire inside of the tank. The entire thing is essentially a total loss. And while that was going on, the Allied forces managed to penetrate the Siegfried Line. How on earth did they do that without the Doom Turtle, you ask? Well,
bulldozers.
The Siegfried Line wasn't really all it was cracked up to be, according to the German propaganda. It definitely was not impenetrable. It was undermanned. It just wasn't as good as it was made out to be. So,
because it's German propaganda. They were all talk. Like, a lot of the times, German propaganda was just talk. And in reality, they were really stretched thin, especially after 42, when Hitler went all crazy like and was like, Stalin's actually coming to kill me. I gotta kill him first. And then Stalin was like, what the hell are you doing? We were allies. What the hell? Now I kill you.
So they just went and they sent out recon, and they found a couple of spots where they weren't well covered by like artillery and machine guns and booby traps, and then they just put a bulldozer out and pushed dirt over the top of the dragon's teeth, and then drove right over the top, got behind enemy lines, and took everybody out. Yeah,
that's funny. Just mounded up some dirt. We're just building a sandcastle. Nothing to see here.
The Germans spent God knows how much money and man hours building this 400-mile stretch of concrete booby traps, and they got outdone by a couple of rednecks with a bulldozer. So because of that, the Doom Turtle simply just wasn't needed anymore, so they stopped the project. There was one surviving prototype. They gave that over to Aberdeen Proving Ground, and they used that basically as a giant weight to test transportation equipment because, well, it was the heaviest tank they had, and if it could move the Doom Turtle, it could move anything else, so they used it for that for a little while. Then, one day, somebody just parked it in a field, and everybody forgot about it.
Aww. Poor Doom Turtle.
A little while after that, people started asking questions. Historians, the public, museums, like, hey, where's that badass tank? We want to preserve it. We want to save it. It's a part of history. We want to stick it in our museum. Let me have it so I can take care of it. And the army is like, I don't know, bro. We lost it. Okay, now on one hand, to be fair, I'm pretty sure I know exactly how this happened. They just like had a couple of dudes go park it. They made it take all day. They parked it off in a field. Those dudes like retired. They left. They moved on. And then nobody remembered where it got parked, okay? Like I'm sympathetic to that. I understand how it happened. But on the other hand, how the fuck do you lose a 200,000-pound tank that there's only one of? Like,
that's a very good question. How did nobody write down like where the giant turtle tank was parked?
I would understand if you were like, oh, hey, we misplaced a Sherman tank because America made like 50,000 of them, right?
That would make more sense.
This isn't a Sherman tank. It's twice the size of a Sherman tank, and there's only one of them, okay? You could park it in a parking lot full of tanks, and you would still be able to find it.
Yeah, you'd be like, gee, I wonder what that one really big fucking tank is in the middle of all the smaller tanks. Could that possibly be the Doom Turtle? Nah. That's a different tank.
How on earth did you manage to lose a blue whale with a gun attached to it, okay?
Dude, where's my car? Where's your car, dude? Dude, where's my car?
Dude, where's my
car?
car?
So that's it. It's just
Dude,
gone.
where's
it's
my
MIA
tank?
for the next 27 years. Nobody has any clue where this thing is at. And then one day, some hunter is out in the woods near a military base hunting, and he's like, hey, there's a fucking tank sticking out of those bushes.
I don't think that's what he was hunting for. I don't think he was hunting tanks. I think he was probably hunting deer.
Dude, there's your car.
Yeah, you guys thought I was being silly earlier with that War Thunder ad, didn't you? When I stuck a couple of bushes on this giant tank and pretended like that was going to conceal it. Well, history is on my side now because this bitch was incognito for 27 years because it had a couple of bushes on it. What now?
Well, when you leave it, nature's gonna nature, man.
So the hunter goes to the army. He's like, hey, I found this weird looking tank in the bushes. And they're like, oh shit, we've been looking for that thing. So the army then takes the tank. They give it to a museum in Fort Knox.
Hey, thank you, Hunter. You found our Doom Turtle. Good job. Did the hunter get a reward? Probably not.
So it's on display there for a little while, and then they decided they're going to move it from Fort Knox to Fort Benning, or Fort More Freedom, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be called now, the home of the infantry. They decide they're going to move it to the infantry museum at the home of the infantry. So they throw it on the HET trailer, the heavy equipment trailer, and they tow it all the way to Georgia. While they're towing it there, apparently they take a turn too hard, and it breaks the chains off the HET trailer, and the entire main cab of the tank flies into the ditch. Now, granted, it was just the main cab of the Doom Turtle, so it didn't have the two outermost tracks, which is like a significant amount of weight, but still.
It flew into the cab, fell off, and oh my god.
Well, the main cab is 60 tons flying off your trailer into the ditch, so that's terrifying. Obviously, the Doom Turtle, completely fine. The paint got scuffed, no big deal. Get it back on the trailer, they get it where it's going. Now, here's my issue. I know for a fact that there are pictures of the Doom Turtle in a ditch somewhere in Georgia. I need those pictures.
Yeah, yeah, you can't tell me nobody snapped a picture of that.
Someone has them on their cell phone. This happened in like 2017, 2018, 2019, somewhere around there.
Somebody
I know one of the drivers in that convoy took a picture of it with their smartphone. It has to have happened. I want that picture for history so I can get it to the museum, okay? Get me that picture.
What are you waiting for? Chinese New Year? Go, go, go.
Sorry, so that's it. That's the end of the story. They get it to the National Infantry Museum, and that is where it is on display today. So in conclusion, that's my favorite tank for literally no reason other than it's completely ridiculous and I think it's funny. Literally from its inception,
it is ridiculous and
giant
funny.
middle finger. The enemy told America, hey, you can't drive your tanks through here, and America said, hold my defense budget and watch this shit, and this is the monstrosity that they came up with, okay? I don't know if you can give a tank steroids or even test a tank for steroids, but if you can, test that one first. Now, is it unfortunate that it never saw combat? Yeah, absolutely. It's cool to think about if it did. However, that serves to highlight one of the most important lessons that I teach on this channel, and that is that the only thing scarier than engineers and defense contractors with an unlimited budget is a bunch of infantrymen on the ground with time on their hands.
Yep.
Because that's what actually gets shit done. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
I love the Fat Electrician. Pink Hollow put me onto him, and he is hilarious. I've been sitting with Pink Hollow listening to the Unsubscribed podcast a lot with Donut Operator and the Fat Electrician and Angry Cops and like all of the like veterans and cops and stuff. And it's so fucking funny to listen to. Propaganda was the same always back then. Yup. The biggest German tank was called the Mouse. Yup. The Mouse. Not the mouse, the mouse. Voiceover says the mouse, but it's the mouse. With the mouse, you gotta open your mouth a little bit more. Oh, what a great video that was. Holy shit. I love the Fat Electrician. He's just so funny. Oh my goodness. Right. We are going to do a very quick bathroom break, and then we're going to come back. We have some more videos to watch. So please take a moment to do the same and get some more coffee, and I will return momentarily. Let me just mute my mic. And I'm not going to put any music on because I keep getting copyright claimed. So I apologize, but there will just be silence. I shall return in a moment. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I can't put, even when it says the copyright-free music for safe for Twitch streamers and YouTube creators, they still there are still companies that hit you for some of the sample or some of the riffs that are in the music. It's ridiculous. Thank you. Thank you for the welcome back. Okay. let's check. What video are we gonna do now? Ah, yes. This is from another content creator that I really like. He has a ton of channels. His name is Simon. He has, let's see, what does he have? He has Brain Blaze. He has The Casual Criminalist. He has Biographics. He has Infographics. He has Decoding the Unknown. He has now he has Astrographics. Oh, we have a bring. Let's go see what the bring is. Thank you for the follow, Reimerk. Thank you very much. We are almost to 500 followers on Twitch. And I have a 20 sub goal. I'm trying to figure out what I should do for sub goal meets on Twitch. I think maybe for 100 subs I'll try to do like a 12-hour stream or something. So, this is Astrographics, and it's called Theia, the planet that smashed into the Earth. Now, this I know a bit about because I'm a giant nerd and like to listen to lots of space stuff. So, Theia is theorized to be a Mars-sized planet from during the creation of the solar system and the just about 100 million years after the formation of the Earth. And Theia is theorized to be the planet that smashed into us and created the moon. So let's see what Simon has to say about it.
It was 100 million years into the Hadean Eon, in the early fiery days of planet Earth, when continents were mere bedrock and magma still fissured and roiled across the planet's surface. Earth and its celestial neighbors were still under constant bombardment by asteroids from across the solar system. They tugged and pulled on each other as they tried to find their place in the celestial pecking order, and they were followed by trails of rocks and dust that hadn't yet even fallen to the planetary surface. It was a place utterly inhospitable, where the water provided by early comets could hardly even stay in liquid form, and where any exposed rock that was stable enough to survive was baked in incredible radiation, not just from the planet's young sun, but from the abundant short-lived elements that still sprung forth from the Earth itself.
Right, like this, there's a reason it was called the Hadean era, because it's literally hell. It's just fire and rock falling and just, oh my god, it's crazy. There's a reason they call it the Hadean era.
But still incoming, it was the worst of all, an entire second planet that was on a collision course with ours. The two were bound through space and time, destined to meet in a cataclysmic embrace that would have destroyed everything on Earth, but that also created the very conditions for our modern planet and indeed for life itself. This is the story behind the giant impact hypothesis, a story of our long gone past in which a planet called Earth and a planet called Theia once crossed paths, and how that meeting and that single moment in time led to everything that came after. If it ever existed at all, the planet, we have since named Theia, might have looked like anything. After all, this is a celestial body that would have been consumed by our planet many billions of years before the first human ever thought to question whether it ever might have existed. Named for one of the 12 titans of Greek mythology, child of the earth goddess Gaia and the sky god Uranus, Theia wouldn't have had much in common with her mythological namesake. But just like the Theia of the ancient world was said to be the mother of Selene, goddess of the moon, the planet Theia would be best known for bringing our moon into existence, even if that particular birth was an incredibly violent one.
Yeah, no kidding. The violent impact hypothesis has been around the first guy that thought of it was in the 60s, and he tried to bring it up in like astrological circles and astrophysical circles and astronomical circles, and everyone was like, well, we should exhaust every other theory first, because it just sounded so like out to lunch to them. And then he met up with somebody in the 90s at a conference named, I think, Robin Canup, and she was doing computer modeling on how the moons in the Saturnian system were created. And he asked her if she'd ever modeled something like a planet crashing into the Earth to create the moon, and she's like, no. So she did, and it worked. And she like tried it again, and it worked again. So that's where the giant impact hypothesis comes from.
But although we don't know much about Theia, we do know at least some things. This would have been a planet considerably smaller than ours, closer to the size of Mars, which, for reference, is about 15% of the volume of the Earth. Put another way, the mass of the Earth is about 6.5 times the mass of one Mars. Theia may also have been a water world, and in fact, if that's the case, then it may have been where Earth got much of its own water. Some astrophysicists argue that Theia would have been born further out in the solar system, in a place where it would have been more difficult for rocky bodies to swell to the size of an Earth-sized planet, but easier to ensnare comets, which at least today tend to gather together on the fringes of our solar system rather than toward the sun. If that's the case, then the water you're drinking right now might have come from as far back as 4.5 billion years ago. Perhaps
that's insane. Can you imagine like all of the water on this planet at some point must have come from like comets and just impacts.
It might have been a snowball planet like Europa or Enceladus, or perhaps it might have had its own liquid seas dotted by continents, or completely engulfing the small planet's surface. That said, theories on Theia's origin aren't remotely close to being agreed upon, and other experts speculate that it might have been a planet closer to Earth's own orbit, nudged toward our world because of the gravitational effects of Venus as it passed by. Still others wonder whether it might have been a rogue planet, one that wandered into our solar system and was ensnared by the sun, but on a trajectory that put it on an eventual spiraling collision course with Earth.
Some also think that Theia gave Earth its core, its iron core, because of the way that the planet completely melted when it hit Earth. So not only do people theorize that Theia gave it the moon, but that it gave us the iron core. That's very true, Jordan. You can't deny that it didn't exist, but you can't deny that it did either. So it's like because it's been so long ago. Like, this is why it's just a theory.
If the rogue planet theory were accurate, then an origin elsewhere in the cosmos might suggest that Theia was a planet that predated our solar system by billions more years, giving it time to collect water and increasing the probability that it could have delivered that water to Earth when it arrived. No matter where it came from, the planet it would soon run into wasn't much to look at. Far larger than its counterpart, Earth in those days was a pimply adolescent hotshot of a planet, and not in the way that our human standards for comfort and livability would have appreciated. Back then, just a few million years old at best, Earth was still mostly molten, bombarded by a constant deluge of rocks and space dust that were slowly adding to the planetary mass.
Yeah, we didn't have an atmosphere at that point. We didn't have a magnetosphere at that point. We didn't have... Yeah, during the early Hadean, we didn't have any of that shit.
So Magneto didn't exist yet to build his sphere.
Ah ha 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 ha.
In fact, it's likely that Theia wouldn't be Earth's first time smashing into a fellow planet, although all indications are that Theia was Earth's last. Some of the
Pardon?
The Holocaust was why we got Magneto, so the Magneto sphere. Maybe there was the Holoden one.
You want to be the first blind person to explore the galaxy? That would be cool. Oh, you like SG-1 and Atlantis? I never liked Atlantis or Universe. I tolerated SG-1. Some of it was cool. Some of it was cool. Some of it was like, no, that makes no sense. But I'm a big Star Trek person. I like my Star Trek.
Warp conduits.
What about warp conduits? What about them? Warp conduits to you too. They make more sense than a fucking wormhole made by ancient Egyptian gods that aren't gods at all.
It's just technology.
So are warp conduits.
That is a lie. Oh, I wish I had $3 in my fucking PlayStation wallet.
There's...
Is there any money in your PlayStation wallet?
Yeah, you only spent $8.
Oh shit, I'm on the wrong account for this. There's a chess game, like a neat 3D chess game for like that's 80% off.
Okay.
So I'm grabbing that for the boy. So he can actually learn how to really play chess.
Good.
Because I'm tired of this. I'm gonna move my pawn 2 steps forward and then nuke your guy.
You can only move 2 steps forward in the first move of a pawn.
Yes, he goes step, step. Oh look, I'm in striking distance.
No. No. That's not how you play chess. What the hell?
Well, I've had him in check with only one maneuver for the last 15 minutes, and he can't figure out how to get out of it.
Oh my.
He's cornered. There is nothing he can do except move one single piece. That's funny. Chess 2020 is cheaper than chess 2014.
Puh. Right, okay, let's carry on.
Some of the outer rock on the planet's surface might have solidified, floating in great island size or even continent-sized chunks, but no geological record survives from that time. Everything that solidified then would eventually be swallowed up by the planet and solidify again and probably get swallowed up again. Earth was a seething, roiling volcanic mass in those days, more hellscape than home where we fragile humans are concerned. By the time Earth finally went solid for good, its encounter with Theia was long since completed. In describing the theory that some other celestial body smashed into the Earth to make our moon, we've thus far referred strictly to the celestial body itself, Theia, or something like it. But there's another name for this scientific suspicion that does a really good job at putting into perspective the part that comes next. And that name is the Great Impact Hypothesis. And like the name suggests, the impact we've got to discuss would have been truly giant.
Yeah. 2 planets, one the size of Mars, one the size of the Earth, hitting, and the way that the computer model did back in the 90s, the way that
It's a Unity game.
the way that the computer model showed it looks like the Earth, or it looks like Theia struck a glancing hit, about a 45-degree impact, and completely obliterated itself, almost like melted the Earth, and then there was a big disc above the planet. It looked like we would have had a ring system for a few hundred years. Oh, I know about the puddle jumper. The puddle jumpers? Yeah.
The cascade would have begun when the 2 planets' gravity began to act on each other. Earth would have shifted to balance somewhat, but remain mostly stalwart, while Theia would have been entranced and just pulled closer and closer. Most scientists agree that it would have struck at an oblique angle of about 45 degrees or steeper, crashing across the surface of the Earth rather than barreling directly into it. A faster or more direct impact might have seen a chunk eaten out of the Earth itself, while a slower impact would have produced a moon positioned in a very different orbital path. So instead, Theia is believed to have hit at a pretty specific speed, a little under 4 kilometers or 2.5 miles per second.
Jesus Christ. 4.5 kilometers per second.
A more recent study, led by scientists from the University of Arizona, suggests that Theia might have been flying by Earth when it skimmed off the larger planet, coming in at a higher speed for a hit and run, but then slowing down because of the impact and having most of its now disrupted mass swing back around for the primary impact.
Right.
However Theia hit, a few critical things happened when it did. Some of the debris from the strike, molten chunks of rock launched out from either Theia or Earth, would have been launched clean away from the 2 celestial bodies, never to be recaptured within their gravitational pull. Others would have been launched into a new cloud of debris around the two planets, a so-called accretion disk, like the one from which Earth itself was slowly cobbled together as a protoplanet. Thea's iron planetary core would have pierced into the Earth's mantle, and then the Earth's core eventually slowed down so much that it would come to rest amongst the Earth's innards rather than traveling out the other side.
And that's how we got the iron core. That's how we got the core we have. That's why it's so big.
Thea's modern mantle would have become one with Earth's, and on the surface, any hardened landmass that did exist on Earth would have shook and roiled as the planetary innards shifted around, struggling to accommodate a great big injection of new mass. The entire apocalyptic event would have been over within a few minutes, although both on and inside the Earth and in space around it, the mayhem would take far longer to settle. Out in the distance, among the hottest and most chaotic molten turmoil spiraling off the Earth's surface, a new celestial body began to form. It would have been liquefied at first because of the intense energy released by the impact, and it wouldn't have taken shape all at once. Instead, as the forces of gravity began to do their work, it would have first invited swarms of crashing impacts, gargantuan cascading collections of molten rock, some of them so massive that if they fell on Earth today, they would end life as we know it.
Oh yeah. These would have been like multiple extinction level rock showers. This was big. This was fucking huge.
According to some simulations by NASA, the bulk of those impacts might have been finished within just hours. According to other modeling, the moon would have grown from space debris in a far slower process. Whenever the big hit stopped coming, the cascade of space debris would have died down into a steady rhythm, a thumping string of impacts over tens or hundreds of years, and then it would have slowed down even more for millennia, with space rocks, big and small, still slamming into the lunar surface, hot and fast enough to become a part of it. The new space rock would have been made in part by the remnants of Thea.
And that's why when we brought back 800 pounds of moon rocks to the Earth, we're like, gee, there's a lot of rock here that's very similar to the rock that's on Earth. And it's, gee, I wonder how that got there. And then we figured, and then the Great Impact Hypothesis showed up.
And in part by massive sloughed-off sections of Earth, forming a new molten mass that mixed elements and isotopes from both its progenitor worlds. And call it fate, and call it luck, but this mass would have not been cast out of earthly orbit, and nor would it fall back down to create yet another impact. It would find balance within Earth's gravitational pull, coming to occupy a spot in the terrestrial sky that looks
the
a
ESA
whole lot
was gonna do like a disabled space program type of thing. That's kind of interesting. Did anything come of it? That would have been cool.
like it does today. Eventually, the new celestial body would have begun to solidify from its original state as a single spheroid molten ocean, forming first into a crust with a still molten mantle like Earth's, and then cooling and cooling and cooling. As millions and then billions of years wore on, the solid crust would have seeped deeper and deeper into the mantle, slowly turning this molten inner world to stone, although, according to those in the know, the moon's surface still hasn't cooled and solidified completely. No atmosphere would form around this new moon. It would lock its own rotation in precise synchronicity to its host planet, and after its geology ceased to show the same sorts of tectonic movement the Earth does, it began to look quite a bit like it does now.
Oh, let's see. We have received a donation. Let's see here. Thank you for the $10 for the water heater so she doesn't freeze to death. Okay. Here we go. 10 jumping jacks. Let's do this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you very much. Very, very much. Very, very much appreciated. Okay.
Battered with impacts after impact, but staying fundamentally unchanged for eons. Now, all of this is a nice story about how the Earth got its moon. It's clean, it's concise, it's got a sort of Romeo and Juliet je ne sais quoi to it. But is there any proof that this is what went down in our solar system billions of years ago? Is there any evidence to even suggest that Theia ever existed, or is it all just conjecture? The idea that a planetary impact might have created the moon isn't a particularly new one, at least on the timeline of modern astrophysics. The idea's been part of the relative scientific mainstream since the 1970s, and it shows up as early as 1946, courtesy of a Canadian geologist named Reginald Daly,
Hi, Canada did something good.
who'd contended that Darwin's theory on the moon's formation was a load of malarkey. That theory, by the way, had involved the Earth and the moon starting as one object, but the moon eventually spinning off it due to centrifugal force. But back in the 1970s, when the idea really caught on, most of the big brains who were authorities on the subject believed that Theia would probably have been Earth-sized. The two worlds would have only scraped against each other, with the stuff they scraped off ultimately becoming the moon. They thought that a head-on collision between Earth and a similarly large planet would have created an asteroid field rather than the Earth and the moon. But an exploration of moon rocks, carried out by scientists from Germany's Göttingen University, found ratios of oxygen isotopes in the specimens that didn't match those of Earth, suggesting that something with a slightly, but not egregiously different chemical composition had a role in the formation of the moon.
Right, so the rocks are similar, but not quite the same as the Earth.
In fact, it was those early indicators of Earth-like chemical composition that first led researchers to believe that the planet Theia formed nearby to the Earth and used materials from the same accretion disk rather than further out in the solar system or someplace else entirely. If they'd been formed in roughly the same part of the Sun's orbit, Earth and Theia would have been competing for many of the same floating space debris, slowly eating up bits of dust like a vacuum cleaner tracing lines on a dirty carpet. And once scientists knew what sort of evidence they were looking for in order to indicate that Theia had once existed, there were no shortage of cosmic signs and geologic oddities to support the idea. In addition to the broad commonalities and the more minute differences in earthly and moon rock isotope ratios, the moon's orientation in orbit is a good indicator too. The moon's rotation, the Earth's rotation, and the moon's orbit around the Earth all seem to have more momentum than they really should, a feature that could have been caused by an impact from a dwarf planet-sized object hitting the Earth at the correct oblique angles, thus causing the Earth's rotational momentum to change, which would later have gravitational ramifications for the moon as well.
It at first, when it hit, it made the Earth just go crazy fast. Like there have been they've actually looked at coral from like 500 million years ago, and coral has like growth rings kind of like trees do, and you can count coral rings kind of like you'd count tree rings. And they've actually discovered that the Earth, as you go back in time, the Earth spun faster and days were shorter. So that when the impact of Theia and the Earth happened, it just sent the Earth like crazy spinning, and they actually did the calculations, and then the Earth, like a day on the Earth back then would have been about roughly 6 hours because of how fast it was spinning.
Not only that, but the moon also has evidence to address the common critique that just a single coherent moon forming from the resulting accretion disk is just a little bit too clean and tidy. In fact, the thicker crust of the far side of the moon suggests that a smaller second celestial body might have formed after the Earth-Theia
Jordan,
impact,
I
spanning
do jumping jacks for the dollar amount of tips that I get through my Streamlabs page.
In diameter, or 620 miles. Then tidal effects between the two moons' orbits
would have
led the smaller one to have a
stream,
relatively low-velocity collision and basically pancake itself across the moon's far side. Further evidence that this might be the case is that lunar magma doesn't appear able to pierce through the far side of the moon, while the thinner crust of the moon's near side is dotted with visible lunar maria, large dark plains made of basalt from ancient lava flows. And even the simple fact that the moon has a molten internal element at all, and the geologic evidence that it was at one point molten on its surface, shouldn't be possible. For celestial bodies of the moon's size and mass, having the sort of internal energy to keep a molten mantle for long term would be very strange. Add in a massive celestial impact, well, there's your energy. Also, within the moon is a small iron core, one that, because of its small size, gives the moon a different density to Earth relative to its size. But the ejector that would have formed the moon, after an impact between Theia and Earth, wouldn't have included the iron core of either planet. Instead, those would have fused deep at the center of the Earth.
So those are elements, I guess, that sunk. From the formation of the moon, I guess there were some iron, like heavy iron elements in the rock, and it just sunk.
Instead, the ore required to form the moon's core would have come from the crust and mantle of those planets, which isn't to say that there would be no iron for a core, but significantly less, which in turn is consistent with what the moon's core appears to actually be. And finally, the moon is devoid of the volatile elements that Earth has. Those elements are liable to vaporize at temperatures lower than what would vaporize, say, the component elements of moon rocks. And in a massive impact event, most of the volatile elements in the hunk of mass that turned into the moon would have been vaporized too. But perhaps the most compelling evidence on the giant impact hypothesis was the news that arrived last year, courtesy of an article in the academic journal Nature by way of a Caltech-led team of geophysicists.
Okay. I don't know if I saw this article. Let's see.
According to that study, massive chunks of Theia might still exist inside the Earth today, specifically in the form of two massive and relatively anomalous blob structures inside the Earth's lower mantle. Each of them are roughly twice the mass of the moon, thousands of kilometers wide, and we've actually known they exist since the 1980s, when the seismic waves they gave off allowed scientists to create a rough map of their structure and size. One sits below the Pacific Ocean, the other below Africa.
Interesting. That is really cool. I didn't know that.
According to the new 2023 study, computer simulations of a possible Theia impact actually involved the presence of similar shards of Theia surviving for a very long time inside the Earth's crust. With a higher density and higher iron concentration than the rest of Earth's mantle, these shards would have been able to survive the requisite billions of years to make it to today. And it's not inconceivable that they might not have been able to reach and completely fuse with the Earth's core either, while Earth's outer mantle would have been relatively easy to pass through at impact velocity, the lower mantle being made up of highly pressurized, viscous, and almost gooey magma, or one that could have had a similar effect on these crashing pieces of Theia's core, to the effect that you might see if you throw a decent-sized rock into a vat of thick mud. Of course, we got to emphasize at the end of all this that the giant impact hypothesis is ultimately just that, a hypothesis. The idea that Theia ever existed and that it hit Earth the way we think it did is a guess. A highly educated, well-informed, research-supported guess, but it is a guess all the same. Not only that, but there are myriad bits of evidence that scientists cite as going against the giant impact hypothesis. If planetary moons really could form this way, then it would be unlikely that Venus wouldn't have a moon, and there are elements of the moon's chemical composition that still don't make much sense, no matter which way you slice it.
That is true. Venus does not have a moon. And if moons formed that way, then Venus should have a moon. Hello! Spittlebuggies, hello!
But all that said, with caveats and open questions remaining, the story of Theia remains humanity's best explanation as to how Earth first became acquainted with its closest celestial friend. Two worlds, bound together in space and time, became one, and then became two again. And the result is both beneath our feet and shining down upon us each night, far beyond our tiny human heads.
That was so cool. I like knowing, like, I like that the stuff that I learned was still, like, in concert with this video. That makes me happy that the stuff that I learned wasn't out of date or anything like that. That was really cool. That was very, very cool. I like videos like that. Space videos and science-y videos. Stuff like that. That always makes me happy. Alright. So, I found a Jubilee video. It's 13 minutes. And it's 5 gay men versus 1 secret straight guy. This I like these ones. I like these ones. These are funny. So let's see if I can pick out which one is straight.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
I'm gay. I'm gay.
Second one's the straight guy.
When did everyone realize they were gay?
Probably like end of high school after my first relationship. It was a girl and it was just not for me.
I think for me, it was in middle school. It was like before puberty. So I was just kind of figuring things out for myself. And also other kids were understanding too. So that
like listen to the way the first guy
When did everyone
talks.
realize they were gay?
Probably like end of high school after my first relationship. It was a girl and it was just not for me.
It just wasn't for me. That's not okay.
I think for me, it was in middle school. It was like before puberty. So I was just kind of figuring things out for myself. And also other kids were understanding too. So that really helped me to find myself when I would talk about it.
I believe that guy is gay.
15.
Oh.
So I know exactly when it was. I grew up in a very religious home, and I too was in relationships with girls. So what I did was I hid myself for a long time. So I'm trying not to tear up. It wasn't until the pandemic when I came out to my little brother.
I actually knew when I was 8.
What's up?
I'm trying to pick which guy is the straight guy. I can't tell yet.
1, 2, 3, 4,
There's
5, and a chick.
There's 5 gay guys and a straight guy.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to figure out which is the straight guy.
First guy.
You think so?
No.
My grandma took me to see Mania, and if you've seen the movie, you know the beach scene, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I knew something was just a little bit off about me when I realized that I was more attracted to Sky than I was Sophie. I'm like, something about him.
You know, mine honestly is right after Twilight came out. Robert Pattinson, I don't know.
Ew, no, fucking, I realized I was gay because of Robert fucking Pattinson. Ew,
Who's team? Who's team?
So good. Of course, Pattinson for sure. Edward.
I knew in middle school, like, there was something up with me. I was like, I like men, that's 100%. But I called myself bisexual, and then freshman year in high school, I was just like, I'm gay. Like, the way I feel about women is nothing like the way I feel about men.
Okay. I already revealed mine, but what is everyone's favorite celebrity crush?
Mine is also a vampire. It's Paul Wesley from Vampire Diaries. He was like my gay awakening, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well mine was Robert Pattinson, so I'm the vampire.
Yeah, we got
Robert Pattinson and Paul Wesley. What is wrong with you guys? Holy shit, you guys are like the most vanilla gay guys ever.
Ross Lynch, something about that man is just, I just love Ross Lynch. Yeah.
Prince and Idris Elba.
Okay, you are definitely gay. Prince and Idris Elba, yeah, you're definitely gay. You actually have good celebrity crushes. You are actually a gay man.
Mine right now, I think, is Pedro Pascal.
You're on the Pedro Pascal
He's so
train?
cute. Yeah, I am.
Okay, you too.
Matt Bomber from White Collar. Love, like the snake eyes are so sexy. Like, that's it.
What do you guys hate about straight men?
Their inability to like take criticism or take no as an answer.
Yeah.
Like, what is up with that? Like, I understand patriarchy and all that, but
Oh, shut up with patriarchy. You're not even what, really? Gay men talk about patriarchy too? Really? Fuck you. Fuck you and your patriarchy. Holy shit. You're not women. You're not fucking women. What do you mean patriarchy? Holy fuck.
but still.
I know, like consent.
Literally.
Their inability to have any sort of fashion. It's just t-shirts.
Okay, no. That's stereotypical.
Just about to say that.
T-shirts, jeans, or like just basketball shorts.
You see those men who clearly use like the 3-in-1 shampoos, and I'm just like,
oh my gosh.
How?
They brush their teeth with it.
Yeah, like I swear.
Oh my god, this one guy had a 10-in-1. I did not even want to ask what it meant.
Lucifer, I just wanted to ask you, so you said at 15 is when you knew, right? That you were gay?
Yes, that's when I came to terms with it for myself.
And then you said like during COVID was when you told your brother?
Yes.
So that whole time he didn't know?
No.
Really? How did that feel for you? Because were you guys close, or?
We were, but I moved from Memphis when I was 18.
Okay.
We've been long distance for all that time.
I see.
He really didn't make a big deal out of it, just told me that he loved me no matter what.
I see. Well, can I ask, why did you not come out to him earlier if you guys felt so comfortable together with that? Or supportive?
Yes, so for me, when I was growing up, the thing that mattered most was getting married and having a family. I had to.
Yeah, this guy, I believe he's from Memphis. He, black Southern family. Not, I'm sorry. That's just, they're probably Baptists. Southern Baptists, probably not very kosher with the whole gay thing. So, yeah, I think this guy is
I had to keep that
actually
facade
gay.
a long time. I was actually practicing to be a minister in 2012, right when President Obama declared gay marriage legalized nationwide. And when I was in...
I want to hear more.
Hey, have you spotted the mole yet? Well, hang tight because we're gonna get there. Until then, subscribe to our channel, and now let's get back to the video.
That tank top that he's wearing is really tacky.
Okay, so he's probably wearing a white
Sorry, just the
beater.
jeans and a shirt.
Good luck, guys. It kind of hurted a little bit. Kind of hurted.
Why do you think they were suspicious of you?
Kinda hurted? It kinda hurted. Are you a child? It's hurt. The past tense of hurt is hurt. I understand that English is stupid, but the past tense of hurt is not hurted. Okay? Go back to school.
Maybe because I'm wearing just jeans and a t-shirt, but I look stylish and I look amazing, so.
Lucifer, I remember you were mentioning that gay marriage was being legalized in 2012, but it was 2015, right?
2013.
Yeah, that's
2013?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so because it was, I remember it precisely. I was on the phone with my pastor,
It was
actually,
2012.
when that announcement was made.
He was running in 2012, so yeah, he would have.
Right.
So 15? 16? I'm bad at math.
I'm terrible.
Well, it took a while for it to actually go into legislation.
Gotcha.
Yeah, why are you guys... Come on, guys. That's not gonna tell... Him saying that the announcement came out in 2012 doesn't mean that it was legalized in 2012. And that doesn't mean he's not gay. Come on, guys.
So you can say 2012, but if you're... Technically, yes, it did take a few years into that second term before it was actually registered. What are some things you look for in a guy?
Oh, creativity, style, and confidence.
Number one will be hygiene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I bathe
that
at
guy's
least twice a day, if
that guy's
not
definitely
more.
gay.
So,
Not anymore.
baby, please, look, I gotta freshen up. So I expect that from someone else.
Yeah. No, I get that, yeah. Yeah, my boyfriend, or my ex-boyfriend.
Oh, no.
Yeah, every time I'd come in, the room was just super messy. And, I'm really big on bathroom cleanliness.
Yes, it's the last place you are at night and the first place you are in the morning. And most traditional men are just dirty in the bathrooms.
Right.
Why are gay men... Gay men are worse than women. Holy fuck. Wow. Gay men are just... They hate straight men. Why do they hate straight men so much? I don't understand this.
Right. For me, definitely funny. And I mean, obviously you have to look good. That's yeah, that's not starter though.
Mine is basically somebody that could just hang and vibe with me. I'm a very active person, whether
I
that
can't
be
tell which
going
is
out
the straight
hiking,
one.
I go out working out. Height doesn't really matter. I mean, haven't found anybody as tall as me yet.
How tall are you?
6'6".
Okay.
How tall are you?
6'2", but I have these on right now, so a little bit taller.
I love those, by the way.
Oh, thanks. They're brand new. They're Doc Martens.
Me too.
Look at.
I love docs.
These are the brand new model. They have little.
Yeah,
hooks.
I know. I saw those. I saw those.
Did we miss the
Those
memo
two
that we
are
were supposed to wear
definitely
boots
gay.
today?
Yes.
I did.
You know.
I do prefer men that are shorter than me, a little more on the submissive side.
We're out.
I hate the bottom.
Oh.
I'm just being honest.
You don't like being penetrated. You don't like being penetrated at all?
I guess because I was in such a controlled environment for so many years, I just have a way of controlling that space.
Can we run down and say what we are? Like, you already answered.
Yes.
We'll say bottom.
Top. Or verse. Top verse.
I say I'm a verse top.
Yeah, verse bottom.
He's definitely a bottom. Ricky is a bottom for sure. Did you see what this man was wearing? Had the midriff and all.
Yeah, it just takes the right person for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very dependent. But honestly, like, the verse comes in more so when it's with, like, hookups and stuff like that.
Hookups. Oh my god. I seriously can't tell which guy is straight. And these guys are, like, so hoary. Oh my god. Hookups.
Well, baby, I'm a Scorpio, so, like...
Me too. Oh, nice.
What did he say?
Well, baby, I'm a Scorpio, so, like...
Me
oh
too.
my god.
Oh, nice.
So nice.
Okay, so now they have to pick.
When Matt dapped up Lucifer.
That was, I was like, okay, that was a little straight. That
When Matt dabbed at
When
Lucifer.
Matt dapped up Lucifer.
that was, I was like, okay, that was a little straight.
That felt very
Gay people
hetero
don't
to
dab?
me. Ew.
Oh, and my other thing, if they're open...
Why does hetero have to be gross? This is the thing. This is the thing that I don't understand. Okay? And maybe it's because I'm just a dumb bisexual. But why is it that gay people go, ew, hetero? And most hetero people nowadays don't go, ew, homo. Why is that? What, like, yeah, there are still people that are like, homosexuality bad, but, like, they're a minority. Why is it that the majority of gay people seem to hate heterosexuality? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that. I never have.
Felt very hetero to me. Ew.
Oh, and my other thing, if they're open to threesomes, because I want to do that.
Hey, say it to the camera. He's looking
If
for
you're
the belt.
out there and you're open to threesomes, Lucifer is available.
I think it's better on paper. I just want to break the truth to you.
Really?
Because it's just another person. It just gets a lot. I don't know.
Is.
I just feel like
I
right?
completely agree. It's more of a novelty, for sure.
Is it like a lot of just sitting
more
around
novelty.
or
sitting around.
Yeah, one person's
waiting?
When's it my turn, guys?
No, it's like
tapping out.
no, it's like 2 at a time. I mean, it's like great.
Ew, no, God, what the? 2 at a time. Okay, I know who the man whore is.
Let's do a round of smash or pass.
Dominic Fike.
Smash. Michael B. Jordan.
Smash.
Ooh, Creed 3.
Oh my
Creed
God.
3.
The Rock.
Pass.
No.
Big
Chris,
pass.
I'm sorry,
Big
Chris.
Big
Yeah.
pass.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Wait,
sorry.
that's so surprising to me because you said that you were a top, like you like being in control. Dude, The Rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can take
Okay.
it.
He might be a
People
secret
shorter
bottom.
than you. Wait.
Yeah, I am. But
The
I
Rock
mean,
is huge.
I've
Okay, I
been
get
I've
it.
been watching wrestling for a long time too.
It's time to pick who is straight.
Ain't nobody topping the Rock. Come on.
No,
Sus. Rock's ugly.
Rock is ugly.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Let's all score up again.
Ouch.
Oh, they bitches. They jealous. They see I'm totally star power. They just didn't want to share the money with me. I'm not someone that gets offended easily, but bitch, that offended me.
Yeah, he's definitely
I am
gay.
offended. This is the shit I'm talking about. This makes no damn sense. Look at me. What? Do I look straight to you?
No,
Come on.
no, you're not straight. You are not straight at all. That Lucifer guy, if he turns
You
out
want
to be
continue playing
straight,
because you think that there's potentially still alliers among the 4 of you in the box. Raise your hand on 3, all right? 1, 2, 3.
Wait, raise your hand. Just continue playing.
Yes.
I'm unsure.
So you 4 are confident that the mole is out. Is that correct?
I think so.
you're wrong.
I can unconfidently say.
Yeah. These like my besties right here.
No, that guy who said those are my besties right there, he's the fucking mole.
So that means the game has ended. If the box turns green, you have correctly voted the mole out, and you four will share a cash prize. If the box turns red, that means the mole is still among you four, and they win the cash prize themselves. Are you guys ready?
It's gonna turn red. It's gonna turn red.
God, I knew I was unconfident.
Don't
I
act
was
surprised.
unconfident. I
What?
said.
Told ya.
How would I act surprised? This is... One of you aren't my besties.
Told ya.
All right. So the mole has won. And on the count of 3, I'm gonna have the mole step forward.
It's the guy who said
2,
besties.
3.
What? We're all the moles?
Let's go.
I think there was a mix-up, you guys.
Look at us. We are besties after all.
I was very confused.
Oh, yeah.
I'm confused.
You had me with the fit, Ricky.
For real?
Honestly, yes.
Dude, thank you. Dude, this is my girlfriend's tea.
Yeah.
I thought everybody misheard the question.
Dude, I took a step and I was like, are these people stupid? Like, why is everyone else stepping up? Like, I'm only straight. Dude, y'all are gay.
I thought that everyone was gay.
Had either of you ever been mistaken as gay or more feminine?
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. For a long time.
I know. Every night I feel like when I go out with my friends or whatever, I get hit on by more guys than girls sometimes, and it's very common. Yeah.
I got mistaken for being gay a lot of the time. I'll be honest, I went on dates with guys because so many people were suspecting me of it, but I was just like, that's not me. After being on those dates, I was like, I like women. That's a fact.
My story that I was telling was very genuine. I'd suppressed my alternative to being macho straight for a long time because I just don't fit the mold for the typical straight
So they're
guy.
all straight? What the fuck? That was a bait and switch. Fuck you, Jubilee. Fuck you. I feel lied to. I feel lied to by Jubilee. They were all straight. I feel lied to. That's what I would like to say. I feel lied to by Jubilee. They were all straight. All straight. How ridiculous. That's just crazy. All right. That made me mad. That made me mad. I'm not gonna lie. I got tricked by Jubilee. All right. Bering has discovered a nuclear level of cringe on TikTok. Now, TikTok is very, very good at being cringy. So, I would like to see what Bering found. Let's see what Bering has found that makes it nuclear. Let's see.
So yes, I'm in my bathroom. I'm currently sitting on the toilet. A woman my size does struggle with wiping their butt.
Okay, that's okay, Bering. Yeah, you're right. Nuclear levels of cringe. Go on.
Do I walk around 24/7 with dingleberries? No, I do not. So what you do is you take a little bit of toilet paper and then you wrap it around, reach however you want to reach, and you wipe your ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, does it seem to you there's just a huge influx of cringe recently?
Yeah. And it's not just TikTok, Bering. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere.
Like mostly from TikTok, but other places too. Because to me, it kind of seems like the universe is about to implode in some sort of cringe singularity. A cringularity, if you like. It gets sent to me all the time by you lovely viewers, people on Twitter. My darling wife, she's the worst. And
she probably is too. Oh, look what I found.
Kind of just sits there on timelines, in inboxes, in bookmark folders, and I don't know what to do with it, because none of it's enough on its own to make a full video on, so I thought we'd explore some of it together right now.
Oh boy. Have you found a cringe compilation?
Fucking TikTok dancers. Imagine the secondhand embarrassment you'd feel walking through Kmart or Bunnings or Home Depot, whatever the fuck, and this bird's dancing her heart away with her friend filming her, like there's some amazing audio system playing in the background. I mean,
Right? It's like either they're dancing to no music at all, or the music is coming from their tiny ass phone speaker, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
She's probably got AirPods in, so to her it probably sounds and feels epic, but it's the general everyday noise behind her that makes it cringe. You know, the sound of people milling around, going about their business. But what she might not realise is we can reverse engineer this, kind of. See, all you've got to do is figure out the beats per minute she's dancing to. I can do it in my recording software. You just tap out the same BPM as her foot stamping. Now for her, it's about 147 beats a minute, which is about jogging pace if you're interested. Now all we've got to do is pick a song to our liking, adjust the tempo to 147 beats a minute, and hey presto.
AUTISM. I have AUTISM autism. Don't be scared of me, cause we're the same, you and me.
Oh my god, Barry, I love this.
I always joke about how, like, I leave a snail trail everywhere I go. If I'm in gym clothes especially, it seeps through so bad everywhere I go.
What did she say?
I always joke about how, like, I leave a snail trail everywhere I go. If I'm in gym clothes especially, it seeps through so bad.
Oh god, ew.
Oh my god, my insides are on fire.
I agree. And she called it a snail trail. Bitch, go to the doctor.
No, please, no more.
It's on every seat that I sit on, whatever. Even in high school, this was like a thing.
Can we just acknowledge for a second that she's in the passenger seat of a car? I wonder who's driving. Is that her boyfriend? Surely it's her boyfriend. Imagine that's her dad or a fucking Uber driver. Hey, do you mind if I record a TikTok? Yeah, sure. Hi guys, yeah, so about my pussy juice.
Oh, dude, if your pussy is dribbling and dude, go to a gynecologist. What the fuck?
I literally leave it on every surface I sit on. The Uber driver's eyeing her off like, fucking hell, I gotta make a stop after this.
I knew it was really bad when today at Pilates, we were sitting on the reformer and we were doing like little swimming
Smells
things.
like
and I
vaginosis.
touched down, and when I stood back up into it, like more standing little swimming thing. When today at Pilates, we were sitting on the reformer and we were doing like little swimming things, and I touched down, and when I stood back up into it, like more standing position, my instructor like jokingly was like, I got you guys sweating on that reformer, especially you.
You might want to get that looked at. You're leaving a snail trail all over gym equipment. Fucking hell. Go.
Dude, that's bacteria leaking out of your fucking... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. You're sharing this with TikTok and not your fucking gynecologist? Thank God my For You page doesn't have this shit.
Go see a gynecologist or something. You shouldn't be leaking that much.
Let them nut all in my guts and then I go and pop my purse. Let them nut all in my mouth, I think I got some on my shirt. Kept my $50 and I went and blew it on some yurt. Yeah, word around town saying I'm the hottest in the city. Pussy good as fuck, I guess that's why he turned me to a Twinkie. Threw this pussy on him, then I
What
went
the
and popped
fuck am I watching?
A Grammy Award. Thanks, Grandma. This award be for you. And I want to thank my God. You can nut up in my guts anytime, JC. I don't know.
Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ. Oh, hello. Perky Pokey. Hello. And this is why I hate public gyms. I bet she doesn't wipe equipment off either. Probably not.
I don't know why, but it's really only young black chicks who do this. Like, say the grossest fucking things and then publish them as art. If it was anyone else, it'd be 10 times more shocking.
Like Cardi B with the I want to gag, I want to choke, I want you to hit that little dangly thing at the back of my throat. It's like, ew. That is gross. That is not sexy.
I think we just expect it from young black chicks at this point. Like, watch this. I just want to do this.
Let them nut all in my guts, and then I go and pop my perk. Let them nut all in my mouth. I think I got some on my shirt.
Ew!
Took me $50 and went and blew it on some yerks. Yeah, word around town say I'm the hottest in the city. Pussy.
How did he get Joe Biden AI to do this?
Fuck. I guess that's why he turned me to a Twinkie, threw this pussy on him, then I went and popped a Plan B. So how the fuck I'm pregnant? Nah, I think this little test tweaking.
That just sounds
You are not
awful.
supposed to get her wet. Women aren't supposed to be wet. Hi, this is Bradley Bliss, top dating coach in America.
Okay. You're a dating coach and you're saying women aren't supposed to be wet? What are you supposed to do? Just shove it in dry? That's not okay.
America, you're not sending your best. I mean,
No.
dating coaches in themselves are cringe, but this guy's like the cringiest of the cringe. Women aren't supposed to be wet, alright?
Just, he's also one of those guys that doesn't believe in eating out pussy too, I bet. He's one of those guys that's like, I only accept oral, I don't give orals.
Why do women get wet? It's because it creates a level of moisture to have intercourse with her.
Duh! It's lubricant. It's natural lubricant.
But if we obsess on making her too wet, then we start slipping in and out and it doesn't become a very good experience.
How tiny is your dick? If you keep slipping in and out when she's super wet, you're not, first of all, fully erect, because a fully erect dick doesn't slip out no matter how wet you are. And second of all, you're like super small and you're obviously thrusting too hard, because that's another reason why you're gonna slip out.
You have a small dick. This was just a complicated way of admitting it.
So,
Yep.
I want you to look at this just like if you're smoking a meat.
What? What?
Oh, where's this gonna go?
If you
What the look at a vagina like you're smoking a meat. Okay. I thought you'd like that.
Oh, where's this gonna
God.
go?
If you smoke a meat for too long, it starts to become a sloppy stew. You do not want to have intercourse in the form of a sloppy stew.
Oh, my dude. My dude, you're a dating coach and you just referred to a woman's private parts as a sloppy stew. Wow. Holy fuck. JFC, dude, try losing like 30 pounds.
Yeah, fair enough. You don't want to have sex with a sloppy stew. What kind of food items do you want to have sex with? A casserole? What should we be aiming for? Like maybe a ham sandwich? A well-pickled ham sandwich? Turkey and chutney? I don't know, fuck.
So what I advise my clients is to keep foreplay no more than 5 minutes.
No more than 5 minutes? What the fuck? Are you teenagers?
If it's more than 5 minutes, then you're in trouble. You're in the danger zone, my brother.
Look, if this is satire, then well played, sir, you got me. But if it's not, I think I'm going to be following this guy. Teach me, master, teach me. How much does it cost to be your client?
I require all my guests to use the bathroom outside. Hi, my name is Ivy Bloom, and this is my outdoor potty area.
That can't be real.
I used to let my friends use the bathroom in my house, but I've since learned how unsanitary that is.
What do you mean how unsanitary it is? With all that regular disinfecting and flushing, God. So you...
What? Wait, it's unsanitary to let your friends use the toilet, but it's sanitary to let them piss and shit outside. What? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, this one is real? Oh my god, no.
So you make your friends go and shit in the backyard and then mark off their buried turds with those fucking ping pong ball things? What a wacky bitch.
Before entering the potty area, I require guests to put on these foot covers. And
foot covers!
First timers are required to read the rules. The most important rule is to dig at least 6 inches from an existing stick, because that's where another guest has dug a hole. It's
Dude! How do people still come visit you? Seriously, how does anybody come and visit you?
pretty simple. You just dig a hole, do what you have to do, and put your toilet paper on top. I provide seeds that must be placed inside to keep my garden growing. And once that's placed inside, you cover it up with the dirt you dug up. And then
I'm sorry, you have to put a seed in with your turd? Is that serious? Did she seriously just say that?
inside to keep my garden. What you have to do, and put your toilet paper on top. I provide seeds that must be placed inside to keep my garden growing. And once that's placed inside, you cover it up with the dirt you dug up, and then place some leaves on top. The last thing you have to do is mark the spot with one of these sticks. I do live in Arizona and it gets really hot, so I provide a bucket with refreshments and snacks that visitors can snack on while using the bathroom.
What? Who eats while they're on the... No! You're going to the bathroom. You're not eating. What the fuck is wrong with people? Why? Dude. Why do crazy people go on the internet and not get locked up?
It's really hot, so I provide a bucket with refreshments and snacks that visitors can snack on while using the bathroom.
What was she saying about unsanitary? Imagine walking into the backyard and there's some dude fucking squatting there with a turd hanging out of his ass and he's just chomping back on a handful of Lay's chips. Get out of here, lady.
And yes, there is a privacy curtain. Once that's done, they can take the covers off their feet and wash them in this bucket. Then they have to place them in this jar so that the next guest can use them.
Ew, you don't even have fucking paper booties? They wash and reuse. No. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Once my guest is done using the bathroom, I require them to sign this journal. And I do respectfully ask for tips.
And I do respectfully ask for tips.
A tip? You ask your friends to pay you for shitting in your backyard. How do you have friends?
Fuck off. I've got to go out to your backyard, dig a hole, have a shit, plant a tree, fill the hole back in, chuck some leaves over it, mark it with a ping pong ball, fill out a fucking logbook and then leave you a tip. Why don't you just get a composting toilet? I don't think this chick has many friends. I think all those ping pong balls are hers.
I think you're right. I don't think she has anybody that visits.
My guy. So let's talk about where the word good morning originated from. Good morning. Alright, so during slavery times, when the women used to mourn about their child being taken away and sold to a different slave master, or if one of the family members did something that resulted into them getting whipped or killed, most of these things used to happen in the evening time when a child was sold off or somebody was getting whipped for something. The black women used to cry all night behind it. Not even just the women, the black people in general. And when the slaves used to cry about what happened all night long, the white slave masters, the oppressors, will wake up in the morning time and they'll tell the slaves, did you have a good morning?
Yeah, that's not where it originated
No.
from, and it's
That's
taken, not tooken.
That's ridiculous. Did you have a good morning? Nobody. What the fuck? This is insane. Why she sound like a man? Sandwich bags. She no looky like a man.
Maybe there were some slavers that were like real pricks that would say good morning, you know, because you're mourning. But no, it just means good morning, as in have a good morning, because it's morning and I wish you well.
It used to be good morrow, but now it's good morning.
Don't make shit up. Not everything's oppression.
Someone said not true. Good morning originated centuries ago. The white owner may have said it as a play on words, but it wasn't originated by them.
True.
Yeah, I kind of want to clear that up. I was using the wrong word. I shouldn't have said originated because they didn't invent the word good morning. So let me not...
It's not a word, it's 2 words.
Use the word originated. The phrase good morning did not originate in America. I was speaking of when it started being used in America in the English language. Good morning was already invented, but it was being used in a different language. It was already being used before slavery.
Wait, the words good morning, which are English, were invented in a different language and used in a different language before the words good morning were used in America in English. This is what no education looks like, everybody.
For centuries. But it was being used in different countries and in a different language.
Nah, it was being used in America and a lot of other countries in English. You are making shit up. Why can't you just say, I was wrong, I was misinformed?
I didn't know, I made a mistake.
You don't even have to say I made it up, which you did.
I'm saying different language like that because it's the English language that matters.
Yeah, and how old do you think the English language is? Do you think... She thinks Americans made up the English language, I think. She actually thinks America, the United States, invented the English language.
I wasn't speaking about other countries that said it. The English language is what carries spells and curses.
Okay, I'm starting to worry about the mental capacity of this woman. I'm not going to go any further.
Nothing like trying to create your own set of facts, right? She's African, as in from the country of Africa. Where they had nothing but love candy and castles until the white man came. Like the gentle, loving Iroquois, kindly trading with the Huron until the white man came. Yes, yes, because the Iroquois had no idea of what capitalism or land ownership was until the white man showed up. Oh God, what is this?
Okay, dude.
Whoops, someone's trying to be tough. Here, let me help you out. She doesn't even inhale the smoke. It's like she's dressed up in her tough guy costume. Like, honey, get me my tough vest, my pomade, and my prop ciggy. I got a message to send.
Here's the thing. The one you just duetted all sexual like that, that's my old lady. I'm not ever the jealous type. Neither is my wife, my ride or die, my old lady. But here's the thing, the way you came about it is the reason why I have a problem with it.
Ooh, someone's gonna fuck shit up.
Why does she sound like she's high on heroin?
Talking to my wife sexually? I got a problem with you, bucko. I wonder where this took place, and I wonder what she's gonna do.
I'm having a lovely morning. So I seen that shit on my For You page.
Dude, she sounds like she just mainlined a whole bunch of smack before she hit record.
Oh, it was on the For You page of some sort of social media. I hate it when that happens.
Back off my old lady. Back off my wife. Like I said, I'm Norse pagan. My old lady is non-binary.
Trans Brian Setzer.
She sounds like she just...
Trans Brian Setzer.
She literally sounds like Kurt Cobain talking in those interviews. Like,
No. Rockabilly look.
Yeah.
But this is a trans man. Okay.
She sounds like a chick.
What's a trans man?
Yeah, a chick.
What's a trans man?
A chick. But no, she doesn't. Okay.
But she's trans Brian Setzer. Rockabilly sleeves, rockabilly slick back hair, and a really shitty goatee.
God. With a chick's voice.
Yeah. All she needs is a teleacoustic.
Oh God.
Non-binary. They go by. I'm Norse pagan. My old lady is non-binary.
I'm Norse pagan and my lady is non-binary. Then how can you call her a lady? I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. You can't say someone's non-binary and then assign them a gender. You opposite of what non-binary is. You just fucked your own narrative. You just literally fucked your own narrative. You can't say someone is non-binary and then call them a lady or a man. That is not what non-binary is. You just fucking torpedoed the entire they, them, non-binary, non-gender thing out of the water with your little video. Good job.
They go by they, them, he, she, her, him. Someone say this.
He, she, her,
I'm
him?
One alpha male.
They're very
I've
confused.
female myself.
I'm one alpha male / female myself. My wife goes by he, him, they, them, she, her, ze, zer. What the fuck is this? What have I stumbled across?
You've been warned. If I see this shit again, let's just say I'll get your shit taken down quicker than ever.
I'll get your shit taken down quicker than ever. I'm a fucking actor, and I just blew the non-binary narrative out of the water with my little video.
Be respectful. You wouldn't have an issue like this. I don't have any issues with no one doing my ride or die.
Just another gender phobe.
You just
no,
crossed the
see,
line.
you
just
can't
crossed
have
the boundary.
you can't have non-binary. Like, there's no non-binary when it
You
comes to
just
human
crossed
gender.
a boundary with a wolf.
What?
With a wolf.
You just crossed
my ride or die. You just crossed the line. You just crossed the boundary with a wolf.
She's slurring. You just crossed the boundary with a wolf. As soon as I get down off this heroin high, I will fuck you up. But right now, I'm just gonna watch the pretty colors.
You just crossed a boundary with a wolf.
Jesus Christ.
I'm a wolf. You just crossed my boundary. Calling a princess on my For You page. I'm a Norse pagan wolf, motherfucker.
Thing about it is, dude, she lives with me. I'm her dom. So you've been warned.
I'm her dom. You don't sound very dom. You sound like somebody could push you over with a pinky finger. Especially right now, considering you've just done basically a whole balloon's worth of heroin. That's what it sounds like.
I see this shit happen again. I'll be DMing you next on my alt account, and I'll keep on and keep on DMing.
So you're gonna admit to harassing somebody with an alt account? Oh, that's smart.
You. I have more accounts
Smart.
than you can even fathom.
Oh, she's gonna send multiple DMs from her alt accounts. More alt accounts than you can imagine.
So you're admitting to breaking TOS and threatening to use your multiple accounts for targeted harassment. Brilliant! Good job, Dom Wolf thing.
Back off my ride or die. Back off my old lady.
Back off my ride or die. Do you live in Fast and the Furious movies?
Won't have an issue. If you know the name, that again, Devil
Pardon?
Wolfpack. I'm the founder. I'm the owner. And I have a lot of people behind me.
Don't fuck with my Wolfpack, bro. Do you have any idea how many DMs you'll get from my Wolfpack's alt accounts? Oh. I want to join the Wolfpack.
How to get high credit card limits, let's go. So the first thing you want to do is you want to sign up for QuickBooks. Then you want to go ahead and send yourself an invoice. Since I have multiple LLCs, I'm going to send my other LLC an invoice.
You have multiple LLCs, do you? Interesting.
For $2,100, and I'm going to put the limit there, and I'm going to put how much or what it's for there, and then I'm going to send it over. Once I receive the invoice, I will then pay it off with the credit card I want to increase my limits with.
This kind of sounds like blatant fraud.
Yeah.
Sure, make a TikTok video about it.
Yeah. Here's how I'm gonna commit credit card fraud. Let me show you how.
It will then deposit into my bank account. Once I get the money in my bank account, I will then pay off the credit card with the same exact money. Once I pay off the credit card, I will do this a couple times, and I will then call my bank and ask them for a credit limit increase because my limits are too low. A bonus is that QuickBooks will also give you funding because it looks like you're making sales on their platform.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
Wow.
where you live and what the laws are, but that's fucking fraud, sure. Surely. I mean,
yeah, that is definitely some sort of fraud, and that's not okay.
and you can have one company you own send invoices to another company you own, as long as it's for something, not just to tickle up your books so it appears you're making sales to get a higher credit limit. Like, that's obviously wrong and pretty dumb. But what's even dumber
Very
is
dumb.
filming yourself doing it and putting it on the internet.
My freaking neck broke the freak out.
Your freaking neck broke the freak out?
So basically, I don't know. I'm finna go to the hospital though because this could be rabies or anything.
Rabies?
Because I did cook them. I cooked the mice, you know, but.
But what? Fucking hell.
Wait.
This could be rabies or anything because I did cook them. I cooked the mice.
You cooked the mice. What? What? What?
You know, but.
But what? Fucking hell. Is this a poverty thing? I hope it's not a poverty thing. That'd be really sad. I mean, you don't look like you're starving, but who knows?
I wanted to put it in my bowl and taste it.
Why? Why did you want to taste what a mouse tastes like?
And it didn't taste bad, but it done broke me out. I ate that mouse, and that mouse then broke me the freak out.
Yeah, because mice carry, like, diseases that you can't cook out of... Oh my god. Oh my god. Rabies, LOL. Yeah, I don't think rabies breaks out in, like, pimples.
So, I'm about to go to the hospital. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It was good.
Oh, it didn't taste bad. It was good. Okay, fuck. I think I've reached my limit for this video. If you like them, I'll do more of them. But like I said, I just had all these videos hanging around, and they're too short for their own episodes. So I thought I'd pile a bunch in together. Anyway, that was fucked.
A cringe compilation from Bearing. Holy Jesus Christ. She ate a mouse. She cooked and ate a mouse. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's insane. I just can't. I just can't. Hello.
Oh, this chick. Yeah, this dumb chick. Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because she at the same time as she's saying all of this, she's got her top opened up.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's wearing a top that. So here's the top. Here's the top of the top.
Okay.
So this is fabric.
Okay.
And then this is fabric down.
Okay.
So she's got all of this open while she's saying all this shit.
Saying that men are the problem with
Yes. All of that while she has all of this titty opened up. Yeah. Break screen, half a second.
Oh, break screen.
Just need 2 seconds, folks. Got to have a chat.
Do I need to mute?
We need to have a chat. I'm asking you to go to break screen.
Okay, hold on. Let me mute. It takes a minute to get to the... Okay, be right back. All right. So we have one video left. One video left. And we're going to switch. We have the live screen up. So apparently, men are the problem with the gaming community.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So I'm going to finally bite on this subject. Over the past week or so, there's been an entire discourse and many viral clips like this one going around and talking about what they deem as the problem in the gaming communities. And guess what? Twitter has designated the source of that problem to be men. And
just men, all men.
you already knew that was coming, but there is a lot of clips like this going around, and they all rely on 3 arguments to support their claims generalizations. They also ignore any active solutions to these issues they're raising, and also they rely on hypocritical arguments.
True.
But let's see how this all began. So a few days ago, there was a clip from the streamer Taylor Morgan that would go viral on Twitter, where she shared a clip while in a voice chat with a male gamer. He would, for an extended period of time, describe how he is going to R-word her, which is obviously very unhinged, but a lot of people were confused as to why she let this keep going for so long. And people asked her, why didn't you just mute or block this individual? Where a lot of people would start questioning the sincerity of her overall message.
This is the chick that I saw with the British guy covering her who baited the guy into bants.
Because she claimed that she was not muting this male because she wanted to keep farming content.
Yeah, it's the same chick.
Hey gaming, bro, this guy is an asshole.
It's the same chick that yeah.
Like, I'm literally the only reason I have him unmuted. The only reason I have him unmuted is for content.
Yeah, so it's this chick who farmed bants, couldn't banter back, and then now men are the problem with gaming.
So as this clip made the rounds on social media, it definitely took the wind out of her sails. She hasn't really responded to much after this got attention. And a lot of people also started raising some claims that she had made some edgy jokes in some of her streams in the past as well. And when people went to check for the evidence, they noticed that she had wiped the slate clean. She had deleted all of her Twitch content, which, based on the timing of people checking out her content to see how sincere she is on this topic, it made her look a bit suspicious.
So she not only made this thing about I just wanted content, but then she went and deleted all her VODs? Wow. What a bitch. She's as bad as the one chick I showed you on TikTok that pulls this rage bait bullshit. Oh, the Call of Duty chick that always posts up these videos about the guys who are like, go make me a sandwich. And she's like, it's so horrible. They're so mean to me. They tell me to make a sandwich and go to the kitchen.
However, that didn't stop people from supporting her general arguments. I saw a lot of women make posts like this that are very interesting to say the least. This individual saying, I am a woman. I play Call of Duty. I stand up for other women, and I use my voice in COD lobbies against racism, transphobia, homophobia, sexism, etc. I hope this reaches angry male gamers and makes them super uncomfortable. I also hope I see you in one of my lobbies soon so I can humble you.
Humble you, huh? Ugh. I hate that. Yeah, you watched the Harmful Opinions video where he found the whole vibe.
Now, I don't think this is a very productive movement here to virtue signal at a hornet's nest as you're kicking it, but also this is a very strange tactic, I have to say. I don't know what showing your cleavage is supposed to do to these angry males. I don't think that's the most effective strategy. I don't really know what you're trying to go for here, but anyways, we're now switching on to this streamer named
Angry
Jay Hannah, I believe, or Jana. I don't really know. But either way, she has been making the rounds, going viral on Twitter for this clip right here, where she talks about how men are the problem with the gaming community. Now let's listen to a bit of that clip.
She wouldn't last 10 minutes in a COD lobby is not, nor has it ever been, a valid excuse for men to act like pieces of human garbage in gaming. I shouldn't have to play a game where all I say is hi and the whole game is thrown and I'm in hell for the next 40 minutes because men are being emotional about it. That is not normal, and that's not how the old COD days were, because I promise you, as a man, you have never had somebody throw on the basis of your gender. That's
bullshit! And also, I have been listening to Counter-Strike, Half-Life, COD lobbies since fucking 2000. What the fuck are you talking about? It never used to be like that in the old days. Are you high? Holy shit! What the fuck are you talking about?
That doesn't happen. You can say it happens. You're lying. I'm sorry. I don't know why that's such a common thing in the comments of my videos. You guys want to be oppressed so bad that you'll look at a man calling me a telling me he's gonna,
This chick is
tell me
like
to
a
get back to the
3.
kitchen and say it's not a woman thing, and say that
Horny
happens
rage
to
is
you,
content.
it
Yep.
doesn't. There's a reason that historically.
And the photo is one of her OF pics. 2007 COD lobbies would put this bitch in a psych ward. Yeah. No, men are the problem with female sports. True. True. Oh, and you know what else would fuck this bitch up? Do you remember the little kid that used to be that was the daughter of your clan leader from CS Source? The fucking 8-year-old that could fucking own adults, and she would just run around singing fucking cartoon songs like a little evil kid. Like that kid would fuck this chick up.
Male-dominated spaces are known for being toxic and unsafe.
Oh, shut up. Unsafe? What are they gonna do? Come and rape you through the screen?
So in this first section, she claims that men are often very hostile to women when they enter a space like a voice chat lobby in a game. And you know what? She's entirely correct. That is the truth. Women who go into these spaces are often met with hostility. Nobody should be denying that. That is exactly what's happening. However, she and everyone else making these similar arguments miss the point as to why that's happening. It's not just because they're women. It's because they don't fit in that space.
No.
By their own admission, it is a male-dominated space. They are something that is foreign to that space.
Yeah, that's why whenever I have voice chat on in Mortal Kombat, and it comes out that I'm not only blind, but I'm a woman, I get, like, for the most part, it's like, holy shit, you're really good for a girl. That's what I get told. And because it's not normal for a woman to play a fighting game. It's just not. It's not normal for a woman to play an FPS. It's not normal for a woman to play a fighting game. That doesn't mean that they don't, right? That doesn't mean that there aren't females that play fighting games or first-person shooters. It just means that it's not a normal thing. Women tend to gravitate more towards The Sims or Animal Crossing or, like, all this shit. She would put Aussies to shame. She's in her 20s now. I would imagine Wolf has her weapons in combat trained by now. Oh, probably. That girl would be terrifying to piss off. I would not want to piss her off at all.
And they are met with hostility when they show up there. That is human nature, like it or not. That is just human nature when it comes to a space that is dominated by a certain type of person. When someone from the outside comes in, they are met with hostility. And that
tell me a space dominated by women doesn't give that same, like, I'm sorry, male daycare workers. How many of them get called pedophiles just because they're men and they work with small children? Because women tend to do that. That tends to be a women-dominated space. Correct? So the men in those spaces, male nurses, how much do they get made fun of? Because it's a woman-dominated space. Fuck, like, it's true. They say men are the problem when it's fatherless 13-year-olds that watch Sneeko and Tate. Yep. True. It's very true. These fatherless teenagers are gobbling up Andrew Tate, Sneeko, and Aiden Ross content, and their mothers are not doing what they need to do. Anytime there were ones at the boys' daycare, I would question their motives, especially the lispy ones. Yeah, because it's just a women-dominated space.
And that includes groups that are female-dominated spaces.
Yep.
When someone who's outside of that comes in, they're met with hostility too. That is just human nature at that point. And the other thing too is,
why do you think gay men get along so well in hair salons? Because they're gay men. You don't see many straight men as hairstylists in a salon. You'll see a straight man having a barber shop, but a straight man in a hair salon would not be comfortable.
She's basically acting like if you're a male, you're immune to any sort of harassment or attacks from your fellow male gamers,
And
which
that's
is
not
ridiculous
true.
because she openly acknowledges the old sausage fests of the COD lobbies from 10 years ago. If they were male-dominated spaces, then what was going on there that was so toxic? Well, it was men attacking other men, not just men attacking women trying to enter that space. I know that in my audience, about 50% of you are from the United States, but another 50% of you are from other countries, including a lot of non-English speaking countries. And I will ask you, the male gamers, to leave a comment, share things that you've been harassed for by other men in voice chat lobbies for games. Like, I know that people have been harassed for things like the country they're from, or the language they speak, or their accent, or the way they speak generally.
Or they get offended by your wife and another guy having banter, so they threaten to come meet you in public in a cemetery and fight you because they're so offended at the shit talk, the friendly shit talk that your wife and another male gamer are having, that they start shit with you. Even the barber has a low for lightener.
That is me saying there is an inherent issue with the way that you guys have your locker room talk that makes everybody else feel unsafe.
Oh, locker room talk makes you feel unsafe? How do words make people feel unsafe? I ask you, how do words make you feel unsafe? Unless it's like somebody sitting there planning a serial murder, how do words make you feel unsafe? How does locker room talk? Again, this is what I mean by most girl gamers can't fucking banter, and most girl gamers, I'm gonna say it right now, they shouldn't be playing competitive games. Okay? Because most girl gamers don't have the skin to play in a competitive game, and they should just stick to fucking building cities in The Sims, okay? That's just my take, and I am a girl gamer, alright? Because, like, I have played against some females in Mortal Kombat, and they are whiny, and they can't play. They can't do a combo. They just do it's very, very rare. Only up in, like, high-ranking play do you see female fighting game players do well. And even then, there's, like, for every 10 men that compete in Mortal Kombat, there's, like, 1 female. It's crazy. I don't have audio on 90% of the time, so I have no idea.
I don't know how you could possibly find it fun to make other people feel unsafe. No.
Because nobody should feel unsafe through words. And it's not the person speaking's fault if you feel unsafe from their words. That's your fault.
A woman is asking men to make gaming a safe space with sunshine and rainbows and everything, but could you please be normal?
No, that is normal. That's called shit talk.
Because I want to be able to enjoy playing the game without my life being threatened, without my body being threatened.
Oh,
because
Muffin.
I'm existing as a woman.
Then play
and
campaign
men are
mode.
the ones making it unsafe.
Then fucking play campaign mode and shut the fuck up.
Do not care if you feel targeted by me saying men, or if you feel attacked by me saying men. You are part of the problem. If you feel attacked by that, you're part of the problem. If you say just mute them, you're part of the problem.
No, you're part of the problem. If you can't just hit the mute button on somebody who's talking shit that you don't want to hear, but you would rather have people relegate the game space and make it and police what's being said, you are the problem.
You sit there and let them say that to me and you don't intervene, you are part of the problem.
No, it's not. No, it's nobody's job to stand up for you.
Because I have a lot of male
Stand
friends.
up for yourself.
Male friends who don't say slurs and don't threaten people and just play like normal. I understand it is not all men. But if you are not one of the men doing this, it is entirely on you to help stop the men who are.
Oh, okay. So it's just like those campaigns in the early 2000s with the commercials where the guy would try to rape the chick, and then the other guy would step in and be like, "Bro, that's not cool, bro. You should have respect."
If you don't understand that, and you don't understand power imbalances and gender hierarchy, it's not my place to teach you.
Then stay the fuck off the internet if you can't handle unpleasant words. Exactly, Perky.
So that section we just listened to, I think, is the most ridiculous. So beginning with the comments about being unsafe, that is such a first world problem in this scenario where she is saying she's unsafe because of things people are saying to her.
Yeah, you know, go to places in the world where there are people literally being killed because they said the wrong thing or thought the wrong thing, and you tell me how unsafe you feel when somebody just says something mean
in a lobby while she's gaming, okay? And she dismisses this mute them advice that people are giving these female gamers when it's actually the solution to the problem. If you're dealing with someone who's unhinged, or you see them being unhinged towards other players before they even reach you, go ahead and mute them. That is solving the problem. Let them scream into the void. That is an actual solution to the problem, and it should not be dismissed. And also, I mean, you're asking these men to stand up for you when another male is attacking you, and that's a big ask. And number one, they don't owe you anything, but also on top of that, you are calling these men in this space and generalizing about them, calling them bad, toxic, what have you, and then you're asking them to stand up for you when you've entered a space that you're not the common denominator in.
And not to mention, not only is she insulting men then asking them to stand up for her, but she's acting like they all know her and that they can vouch for her. And like, that's part of standing up for somebody, right? Like, that is part of standing up for somebody. You stand up for someone that you know. And so I don't understand why they expect people to stand up for them if these people are just strangers in a COD lobby. Like, there's a different, like, if somebody is doing something that's completely out there, I'm sure somebody's probably going to be like, okay, bro, stop, right? But you can't demand that somebody stand up for you all the time.
And you're really just kind of throwing them to the wolves, too. Like, if you believe you're receiving genuine harassment, you're now asking other people to jump in and risk getting harassed themselves. Like I said, it's a pretty big ask, but, you know, if you're tired of hearing this male speak here, you can listen to a female user here with a well-supported tweet saying, insulting men, labeling them as toxic, and saying they are the problem while also demanding that men step up and defend you is wild. Gaming isn't all about large white headphones and cleavage, sweatheart. If you can't handle the heat, maybe you are more suited for the pools, hot tubs, and beaches side of Twitch.
Facts! Facts! If you can't handle the competitive gaming, don't fucking play. Don't fucking play it. Go stream Animal Crossing in a hot tub. Alright? If you can't handle competitive gameplay and banter, then don't play.
And here is the most liked reply to the original tweet sharing the video saying, number one, if you want to be in a community, stop trying to change that community. Number two, men in gaming get targeted for everything, including their gender.
Yep.
The difference is they understand it's just banter and just have fun. Number three, you have a mute and block option.
True.
I'm going to focus on this part here where men are also targeted for their gender. That is ironically shown by this clip of this streamer that would go viral, where it's captioned, "What a disgusting individual you are," getting 70,000 plus likes.
Oh.
Let's listen to this clip.
Oh, this should be good.
No, it's over, Ina. It's over. Like, if I were to have a boy, we better pray to God that he's gay. We better start indoctrinating him day one. We have to either make him trans or make him gay. We are not having a cisgender straight son.
What the fuck?
So yeah, a lot of people had a big issue with these comments that she made.
What the fuck? Bitch said the bitch said the never say that part out loud. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is not something you, like... Wow. It looks like plumber's crack on her chest. This is insane. How can you say that? Like, wow.
You can see the top replies here saying, this is what child abuse looks like. This is...
Oh, so they're going to groom a child? Yes. These people need serious mental help, not validation. Yep.
And satire. There's literally a... So yeah, a lot of people had a big issue with these comments that she made. You can see the top replies here saying, this is what child abuse looks like. This isn't satire.
Nope.
There's literally a whole new generation of women who feel this way.
There is. There is. And it's fucked up. And I blame fucking third wave feminism. And I blame the red pill community. And I blame fucking... I blame fucking liberals. I blame this and a big part of it is the Gen X generation who sits there and bubble wraps everybody and just because they feel like their parents fucked them up. And it's funny. They're proud of, we were latchkey kids. We didn't wear helmets. We played outside for 12 hours a day. And then they turn around and go, my childhood was so hard, I couldn't possibly raise my kids the same way. And then they bubble wrapped and ruined the next 3 generations. Now millennials are starting to kick back and we're the fucking problem. Gen Z's the fucking problem. And also, let's put the boomers in nursing homes. Nothing's wrong. Nothing. The Gen X is the classic epitome of everyone's the asshole except me. I blame the same people. Yeah, exactly, Perky Pokey. It's ridiculous.
Cliche, but society is literally collapsing. I don't think the people in this thread understand whether she's joking or not. This is a weird statement to make. You can't force people to be a certain sexuality, and that...
No, whether she's joking or not, like, this is not a joke. Like, you don't joke
Others are saying, I thought being gay and trans wasn't a choice. And then this last one saying, it's always the ones who try their hardest to appear the most empathetic that are the most evil.
Yep.
And then moving on here, we saw a lot of people try to defend her comments, saying that they're just jokes. You can see...
No, that's not a joke. You don't joke about indoctrinating a child to be a different sexuality or gender. That's not a fucking joke. That is not a joke. That's not funny.
You can see this deleted tweet from Caseytron saying, when straight men can't understand sarcasm/jokes
That's not sarcasm.
Because it's coming from a woman, the outrage. And there's, of course, the great irony of this statement because it is literally shooting their own argument in the foot. If you call this a joke, what people are considering like comments about like grooming children, if you consider that a joke, then the initial comments that started this entire conversation would also be considered jokes. They're not that far detached from each other in terms of severity if they're meant to be actual real comments.
Nope, he's right. He's right. If the grooming a child to be gay is a joke, then the initial comments about rape are jokes.
So this is really just shooting all the related arguments in the foot, and then the fact that it's deleted makes this even funnier.
Yep.
But then this was her response to the entire situation. So she makes comments about wanting to indoctrinate her own children into the LGBT, and her next tweet is saying, anyways, free Palestine. Now, I think this is done for
points
on Twitter. I mean, you can believe whatever you want and say whatever you want, But I think the timing of this is very suspect, on top of the fact that, again, this is about LGBT children being indoctrinated in this scenario, and then she talks about this region of the world, which is totally tone deaf.
And anti-LGBTQ, by the way. That's what I love about all the fucking gay people that are like, I'm pro-Palestine. Cool. Do you know what Palestinians would do to gay people? Last year at the Pride Parade, they literally chanted, "We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your kids." Yeah, I remember
But continuing on, we saw some more comments talking about how people like the initial Taylor Morgan comments are what is ruining gaming. And then we saw this tweet backfire horribly saying, "Can't have your cake and eat it too. Do you want gaming communities to go back to edgy sausage parties?
Yes.
Fine. But being ready to lose mainstream support for your hobby and being bullied by peers for wasting your time playing computer games." Which the majority of the responses were like, okay, we accept your terms. It backfired pretty bad. But this whole situation has been a very ridiculous and disingenuous conversation about this entire gaming community and the role that men play and how they interact and how these voice chats go. I think people are trying anything to demonize men, generalize them, and to try to make them look like they are the issue when there's a lot more to it than what they're trying to lead on. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.
It is crazy the amount of, like, just, and I don't even understand why they're in the gaming space. If they hate gaming so much, why are they here? Like, why are they playing games if they hate gaming? She's Palestinian. Oh, God. Oh. Do 10 side raises, eh? Okay. I shall. So, yeah, we got through all of our videos, and that was definitely some manic shit. Hold on, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew! And that brings us to the end of our wonderful Holiday Monday coffee stream. I hope you all had a fantastic time. I need to go have lunch now. I am very hungry. So I will be back tonight for a combat hour, and we'll be having fun. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do some more Combat League with Ashra or if we'll be working on some more Tanya. We'll see. And now to go record 500 jumping jacks in the sun. Yes. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow for another coffee stream at 11 a.m. Eastern. And I'll see you guys tonight for the combat hour. Thank you very much for watching and sharing and liking and everything. I will see you tonight. Goodbye, everyone.